has to go into. So I assume I'm just gonna. Oh wait, never mind. It's right there.
That's because I
Okay.
forgot to put it up.
Oh no, all good.
Yeah, and I think I already hit go live, and then we started that conversation. So rough
Great.
start,
All right.
but fuck it. Ooh, there goes the monetization. Whatever.
No,
Hello.
it's dead.
We weren't getting it anyway. Welcome to another exciting day in the painting realms. And Bill, you've been
Uh,
gone for a while, like
I've been gone for a very
Venezuela,
long time.
right?
Yeah. What was that?
You
Where did
went
I go?
Venezuela?
No, Hawaii.
Oh, okay. So yeah, did you enjoy your time in Portugal?
Very much so.
Sick. All right, yeah. But we're not here to talk about your trip to Alabama. We're here to talk about Seraphon. Yeah, this is a very deep
That's way
book,
more exciting.
so I think we should just jump right into it
Let's do it.
if you're cool with that. But
Yep.
yeah, we didn't talk about the live stream either the other day, Warhammer Day. There's some really cool
Oh yeah.
stuff there. But just to put a nice pin in that real quick, I liked the Warcry Warband for Flesh Eater Courts the most. Which one? What did you like the most?
You know, that's a good question.
There's a lot of good, right?
There is, yeah. I kind of liked the what was the new Iron Jaws thing?
Oh, the pig.
Yeah, the gigantic pig.
Yeah, I forgot what it was called, but
I don't know. It's just
it's so
it
cool.
was like, oh, they're actually adding to like the army, and it's like, oh, okay, that's cool.
You know what else I really like about that too?
What's that?
It's 3 units too. It's a not character, a character, and a named character.
That's awesome,
I think I
maybe.
heard that correctly. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, the comments will correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's three
Oh
different
yeah,
units. But that's great, and the
yeah.
thing looks sweet. Yeah, like I knew you might have said that actually. I would have put money on it, but a lot of cool stuff. I think Old World they need to show a little bit more for me to care about it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the 40k stuff, the brain did was really cool too. Like the Hive Tyrant brain guy.
Oh yeah, yeah. I do remember that. That was pretty
Yeah,
sweet.
that thing fucking
Yep.
ruled. But yeah,
Yep.
the Harbinger was sweet. Yeah, this was a great one. So check those
I
out if you
just
haven't.
I just saw that they actually are putting Beastmen in 40k. I'd forgotten about that in Kill Team,
Oh
I think.
yeah, that's right.
So that's interesting.
Yeah, yeah,
Get some
40k
new
gets them
bits and
before
bobs.
AOS, which is really funny.
It's a little weird, but yeah.
Yeah, but man, like if the AOS ones when they eventually come look anything like that,
Right?
we're sitting pretty.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they kind of got him with the what's it called?
Zongor.
The words. Come on, words. You can do it. The not Warcry, Underworld's Warband that came out for them.
Oh,
They kind
Grash
of got
back.
like these sculpts and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and then they just like didn't get anything else like that. So
Yeah. That's weird. They got like the first good warband in AOS.
yeah, yeah, they did.
Yeah. Oh man. All right. Well, that wasn't jumping right into it. Let's try again. Okay.
Yeah, let's try again.
Rough start. Rough week, guys. Give me a break. Okay. So we're gonna talk about Seraphon, and one thing that I think that was really interesting they did. I don't know if you looked at the book yet, but they really drove a wedge between Starborn and Coalesced to the point where they almost feel like two different armies.
Oh wow, okay. I'll
Yeah,
be
and
honest, I have this is a book that pretty sure I'm not gonna play, so I have not looked
yeah,
at
that's
all.
totally fair. Yeah. Um, but like even to the point like the terrain piece has different rules based on what sub faction you are.
Oh wow, okay. So
Which
they really are trying to drive home that these are totally different.
and I kind of like that too because
Mm-hmm.
like I think a problem Seraphon had, which I think is still kind of a thing they do, but like not nearly as pronounced as that they could do everything.
Oh sure.
Yeah, and I feel like the Starborn are way better at ranged output than they ever used to be, but like you don't get the ranged output in Coalesced, you know?
Yep.
So it feels like it's a meaningful choice between the two.
Which
I
is
really
great.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over the allegiance stuff, and then before we go to Coalesced, I'm gonna scroll to the bottom. We can look at the terrain piece because that actually doesn't matter
Okay.
for the grand picture, and then we'll do Coalesce, go back down, and then we'll do units.
Sounds good to me.
Yep.
Let's go.
All right. So Starborn. They get to pick one of their two sub-factions, Dracothian Tail, Sphinx and Sotek. We'll get to those later. Lords of Space and Time. They have special heroic actions, which I'm always a fan of in books.
Mm-hmm.
They pick one of two. One is you can replace one spell that you know from the lore of Celestial Domination with another spell from that table.
Oh, that's an interesting way to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we always talk about that sideboarding kind of ability is really
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, I like this. I like this a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a decent way to do that. I could see that being a great just generic ability.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
be honest.
I would love
That would actually be a perfect one for the sideboarding aspect. And then
Yeah.
you can make yeah.
And how many games have you played where you're like, oh, I guess I just do heroic leadership?
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think you're right. The only problem I have with this is that it's one army and not core.
Yeah.
Yeah, that. I think this will be a sweet core one, but
Yeah.
that gives you a lot of options too, because you'll see in the spell lore there's some silver bullets in here. There's a horde clear in here.
Mm-hmm.
That I don't know. It's hard for me to justify horde clears in a lot of armies.
Yeah, but if you happen to run into the perfect list that it's good against, it's all right, I have it.
Yeah, and that's sweet, and it's a heroic action. Great.
Yep.
10 out of 10. The other one is basically you get to pick up a unit wholly within 12 of the Slann. Oh, I guess, yeah, only the Slann can do these two. So only the Slann can replace the spell in the spell lore.
Okay.
Which is important, fine. But...
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so... But then he can pick a unit within 12 of him, and he can set it up, again, more than 9 inches from enemy units on the battlefield. So... Seraphon always used to have this in Starborn, and it used to be any unit. At the beginning of your turn, pick a unit and teleport it. Now it's a heroic action and it has to be within range of the Slann.
Okay, so your opponent has a little more counterplay and knowledge of they don't have to think about every unit doing this. They just have to think about a couple.
Yeah.
Got
it. The thing that's really cool about that too is Slann can cast spells through. Oh, I guess that's the next rule is Cosmic Power. Oh wait, no. What is it? I forget exactly how. We'll run into it, but they can cast spells through the range of other skink units. I think that's a special keyword, but yeah, they're just a conduit. So you can teleport a guy and basically use it to cheat range on the Slann.
That's kind of neat.
Yeah. So there's some play there. And of course, I think that's gonna be a very common use of it. And one of those units is the Troglodon, by the way. Which is
I don't remember which one that one is. Which one is that one?
You remember the Tyrannosaurus Rex guy, the Carnosaur?
Yeah.
It's the alternate kit where it's the white guy with the stems cutting out of its eyes instead of eyeballs.
I think I would have to see it, but I'm sure I will along the way.
A unit that didn't really have a purpose before.
Oh, okay, that's probably why. I don't remember. Yeah.
And now it's super cool. So
nice.
Yeah, they did a pretty good job with internal balance from what I can tell too. It's not perfect, but it's much better than it was.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's just I guess it's super obvious why teleporting a unit anywhere you want outside of 9 is very strong.
Oh yeah.
But there's some other not obvious synergies that work in the book too, which cheating casting range is definitely in that camp in my opinion.
Oh yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I like it. And then they have Cosmic Power. And so you have Cosmic Nodes. So friendly Starborn Wizards and Astrolith Bearers. And Realm Shaper Engines are Cosmic Nodes. So basically you store up an energy that you then release through a Cosmic Node later.
Okay. Is this all new for this book? I don't really know how they worked before.
Yeah. I think the effects it used to just be summoning. But you get to spend them on different effects now too. And I think the way you generate them is different too.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, so you generate them by casting spells and denying enemy spells. And you get one So you receive one cosmic power point. I think people have been calling them star points too.
Sure.
Yeah. So summon points. Yeah, you get 1 point per wizard, 1 point per Astrolith Bearer. You receive an additional one every time a wizard casts a spell.
Oh, so you can like you start with a bunch and then can get more
Yes.
type of thing. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. So like it's pretty easy to get like 6 or 7 with like very low investment, which is pretty cool, to be honest.
It's a different way to do it. How they combine it with like with list building and with like things that happen in the game.
Yeah. Yeah. So I wonder, like, yeah, let's go over the rewards and then we can talk about like the implications of it. So
okay, so you can pretty easily start with say 6 is what we're saying here, and you get an additional one for each spell you cast and deny.
I was counting the 6 as part of that, so it's like you probably have like a Slan, probably like an Astrolith Bearer and another Wizard, so that's like the 3, right?
Okay, all right. So you have 3, and then you can probably get like 3 a turn.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
And then there's like other means to boost that too. So
Sure.
But
it's good to have a baseline of like, okay, I have a general idea of how many points I'm gonna have per turn.
Yeah, exactly. And then so in your hero phase, you can spend your cosmic power points on any of the following abilities, and you can only use them if you have enough points to do so. The same ability cannot be used more than once each phase. So the way that
rules lawyering.
Yeah, but it sounds like to me that if you have like 30, you can do multiple, right?
I didn't hear you say you can only use one per turn.
Yeah. Can't do the same ability twice. On any of the following abilities. Yeah, so if you have like a lot of points stored up, you could just blow them all at once, which is important to know.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so the first one is at 5 points. Starborn units with 1 or 2 wounds wholly within 12 inches, you return D3 slain models. So that's like your Saurus warriors, your I think your little guys on the Raptidons count too, because I think they're only 2 wounds, but we'll get there when we get there in the book. But like Saurus, I think are pretty good right now, so that's certainly good. It hits skinks, like that's cute. It's good stuff, I think.
Wholly within 12 any cosmic nets. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that could potentially hit a lot of things, but like you need to have chip damage happen to a lot of things to like really maximize its usefulness.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yep. So we're cool with it. Let's see. And then 2 more abilities. One of them is at 10 points. Until the start of your next hero phase, friendly units affected by revivifying energies have a 5-up board instead of a 6-up board. So, revivifying energies is a rule from the Astrolith Bearer, which is a 12-inch bubble of a 6-up ward.
Okay, so they can get a.
And this bumps it to a 5-up.
Okay, and who has that again? Did you say?
The Astrolith Bearer.
Okay, so it's just a unit that can give it.
Yep.
Okay, so it sounds like you're definitely bringing them.
Yeah, because to bury the lead, to cheat the lead a little bit, what he does is he's at 135 points. He gives a 6-up ward bubble, and then wizards within, not wholly within, get plus 6 inches to cast range.
Yeah, you probably want one of those.
Yeah, so he rolls. So yeah.
Okay, got it.
So it's not even like, I guess my point is too is like, it's not even like attacks really. It's like something you want to run.
Right.
So like that's great. Because like if those are the only thing it did, that would kind of suck. That would be kind of a tax unit, but you know.
Yeah. Yep.
It's
but
a good unit. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the last one. This one is a little dicey, but it's 15 points. And you roll a dice for each enemy unit within 12 inches of any friendly cosmic nodes. And on a 2-up, they suffer a number of mortal wounds equal to the roll. So it's just like an AoE old Lady Olander stare.
Wow, that could. What's the range on it? Within 6 inches or 12?
12 inches of any cosmic node.
That can hit a lot of stuff.
Yep.
Wow. That's like a double turn, like, oops, I double turned you. It's like I'll move in and oops, I double turned you. Okay, kaboom.
Yeah.
Everything take like a whole freaking pile of damage.
It almost feels like they listened to us, you know? Like whenever we saw this in Korn at 7, it was like on a 2-up does D3. We're like, that's nothing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
this is respectable damage
Yeah.
from
I
like a
would say
lot of
so.
sources too, you know? It's not just
Yeah.
one thing.
It is 15 points, so if we're saying we're getting what? Like, we can, like, probably. We're gonna get an average 3 a turn, and you start with 3. It's gonna take you a long time to get to that. So they may have even, like, put that in the right spot.
Yeah. And I think there's
After,
going to
like, a
be
bunch of combat
lists.
has happened.
Yeah, I think there's going to be lists for sure that rush for this.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah, it seems like it.
But you're going to be very low on bodies if you do that.
Yeah.
And you could get steamrolled, but like, not to fear, you have summoning with these points too.
Okay.
Like, 10 skings is 8 points, which is great. Terror wings. It's hard to evaluate this table until we know the units inside.
Sure, of course.
But I just think like skinks are pretty easy to evaluate right off the bat, right? It's like, oh, they're bodies, that's it. Cool.
Yeah.
They're good. And then like Croxagore, Saurus Warriors, Saurus Guard at like high point totals. And like you can get a Bastellodon, which those are like sweet right now. And yeah, like it just seems like you have a good spread of things. And from reading the book over a couple times, I think there's some really powerful options here. The Terror Wings and Skinks really stick out to me at 8 because Skinks have more objective holding and Terror Wings have like a cheap little roar thing that they can do.
Kind of neat.
Yeah, so like they have to beat Bravery, but if they do, they roar. Which like roar is super good, of course.
Yeah, and then it kind of gives you like the what army am I facing toolbox,
Yeah, exactly.
right? Because
Yep.
of the summoning. Yep.
So I really like that. And then I think Agrodons are going to be something you really like, and I think a lot of people will too.
Okay.
Raptidons are just very fast, which is great to have in the toolbox.
Yep.
Kotek is some good like some good range damage. There's utility here, which I like.
Yep.
But yeah, that's pretty much it there.
So Engine of the Gods at 30, huh?
Yeah.
30, based only on the way you've already told me, you can get points. Seems like a lot.
Yeah, that's definitely a turn 4 thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, if that, like, that seems very hard to get.
Yeah. And I think it'll be very clear later on, like, you can bring, like, Croak and a Slan, and that's 7 spells right there.
Yeah, right.
When we go over the command traits, we'll see some more ways to generate these.
So yeah, so maybe I'm just
them.
maybe my starting assumptions is wrong. Maybe it's you can actually just cast way more spells.
Yeah, and then it's also denying too. So I guess
Yeah,
it's opponent
denying is definitely kind of weird though, because it's like there's some times where it's not going to matter much at all.
Yep.
Right. And so it's kind of swingy. But like if you're say going up against a death army, like yeah, you might have a lot of points, a lot more points than you're used to. And so
which honestly, like it's kind of weird how that scales, right? Because
yeah,
they seem like the army that would be resilient to the effects that you get for these points. Like Soul Blight, like is pretty much like I sleep at your D6 mortal wounds, you know?
yeah.
So but like the armies that like won't cast at all, it'll be harder to get that on, but like Stormcast will care a lot more about that, right?
Right.
So I kind of like that, like interesting, like little balance area, and like
It's
it's not
very
going to work out perfectly against a lot of things like that, but some of the extremes it does, you know.
Yeah.
But overall, powerful stuff here, I think. Like free movement shenanigans, spell swapping, a bunch of damage, model return, summoning. Like that's all good stuff, of course.
Yeah, I almost think I think the 5 ability will see very little use with bringing D3 models back to a bunch of units, because like it seems like a hard thing to set up to be useful, and then you can get 10 skinks at 8, and like what's the odds that you're going to get like 10 skinks worth of, or like what would it be, 7 skinks worth of value out of the 5? But
Yeah.
maybe that's in the right spot. I don't know.
Counterpoint though. It's models worth of 1 or 2 wound thing. And source.
Oh, so if you have a lot of 2 model stuff. Yeah, okay, that's a good point.
Yeah. So, like, let me put it this way. If Chaos Warriors could be brought back like that, how would you evaluate that ability?
Yeah, way better than yeah.
Yeah. And I don't think Sora's Guard are quite as good as Chaos Warriors. In Starborn, at least. But
Oh,
I
sure,
think they're
but yeah,
comparable, you know?
the point's there. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking like the D3 roll worked like normal on the 2 wound models. I didn't realize it just straight brought a model back.
It's easy to miss, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Straight brings them back, so I think
yeah,
that's where the real
they're normally
value is.
pretty specific about that. So
Huh?
I said they're normally pretty specific about that.
Yeah, they really are, yeah. But that's-
Okay, that definitely seems better in that regard. I mean, you still need to have it happen where some of them die and others
Yeah.
live and stuff like that, but it's not out of the question.
I think if you're hitting like 2 units with that, it's fine.
Yeah, 2 units of 2 wound models.
Yeah.
But then it's also a question of like it gets better when at least like 2 have died or 3 to really get full value because it's not really like 2 each
Yeah, that's fair.
at that point. So it's I think it's a case by case situation
Yep,
whether you want to do it. Yeah.
exactly. And like I think 5 is the right point cost for that, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Because like it's certainly not more expensive. But I think the 5 aboard thing is certainly good, but 10 points is a lot too, so like I think that's fair.
Yeah, like you have to basically save, like 10 skinks with it, right?
Yeah.
Essentially. So that's actually interesting. I mean, granted you can save wounds on better guys, but it is just a bubble. It's not like army wide like say Death is, right?
Yeah. Or like Nurgle or whatever, yeah.
So like if you're protecting a bunch of skinks, right? You need to essentially be rolling what? What is that? 24? No. It's more than that.
Yeah.
You have to be rolling 48 ward saves on skinks to make that the same value as 10 skinks.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy, actually.
Mhm.
The math there being you're gonna make a 1 in 6 anyway, so it's just you're getting a 1 in 6 better, and then to how many?
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. And then when you put it on like actually things that matter,
yeah,
numbers become
then it gets a lot more
valuable.
valuable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like that's a good way to look at it too. It's like if you're trying to do this to protect little guys, maybe the economy on it's pretty terrible.
Right.
So that's
but
a good way
if
to
you're looking
evaluate
to protect the big guys, like maybe it's a lot better.
Yeah. I like that distinction. All right. Command traits. So I like what we did the last time on Soulblight, where I read all 4 of them, and then we talked.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so Arcane Might is the general can control up to 3 predatory endless spells per hero phase. In addition, when this general casts a spell that summons an endless spell, the range of that spell is doubled.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's fun. I want to talk about it so bad, but hold on.
Yeah, okay, we'll keep going.
Higher state of consciousness gives the general ethereal.
Obviously good.
Yeah. Not as good on 4-up stuff, but that's fine.
Sure.
Each time this general successfully casts a spell that is not unbound, successfully unbinds a spell, or successfully dispels an endless spell, you receive 2 cosmic power points instead of 1. And then the general chose 2 extra lore spells from the Lore of Celestial Domination. To me, there's a clear winner here. I want to know what you think.
Oh, that's interesting.
Okay.
Which one's the clear winner?
The getting 2.
Getting 2 points?
Yeah.
Depends on who it can go on, right?
It can only go on the slot.
Oh, it can only go on the slot. Okay, so it's a known quantity.
Yeah, which is 3. He has 3 spells, 3 casts, 3 denies.
3 casts. I mean, that's really good. And how many? Does he get any bonuses to cast or anything?
I think he has a +1 base.
+1 base. Okay, so that is actually really good.
Yeah.
So what's that mean? He's probably on average going to be generating what 3 extra points a turn? We'll say over cast and denies.
6 a battle round.
Did you say 6 a battle round?
Yeah, because 3 on your turn, 3 on mine.
Well, I mean the 3 on your turn are certainly not guaranteed by any stretch of the imagination.
And yeah, That's
And
fair.
yours aren't either, because yours can get denied, right?
Yeah, so up to 6, probably 4.
Yeah, I'd say 4 sounds reasonable. So 4 extra points a turn.
Yeah.
So let's say, okay, so that means we're putting a number to it that you're probably getting 4 a turn from the salon. So 4 extra.
Yeah. So that's like a skink unit a turn by himself.
Skink
Actually,
unit
9 because he
every
gets one for
2.
existing.
I think that's a skink every. Oh yeah, it's a skink. Yeah, I see what you're saying. So it's 4 extra. So he would generate on average a skink every 2 rounds, and this brings it up to every 1.
Yes.
Hmm.
Which you bank later for bigger things, right?
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, just to get like a baseline there, obviously.
Yeah.
But
I just think with this, like, it brings you from going from like 6 or 7 to 10 of these points because he gets one for each one. You get one for each wizard and each one for each astrolith.
right.
So if you're doing like the bare minimum to get like the extra artifact, that's 3.
Yeah.
And then he's around getting you around 6 or 4. We decided.
4 extra. Yeah. We're saying roughly 4 a turn.
Yeah.
Or battle round is what he's gonna get you. Yeah.
Yeah. And then with this, there'll be 8 battle round, 4 a turn.
With a potential to spike as well.
Yeah. So like that's around 10, 12. Not unreasonably, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know, that just seems hard to ignore to me. Like it seems way better than knowing 2 extra spells, but we gotta read the spells to be sure. And you
Well,
can switch them out.
that in the salon can already change out the spell, right?
Yeah.
So, but I mean, if the salon knows 3, like that is pretty good too, though.
Yeah.
I think the point one is probably the winner, but like I don't know how that economy works out well enough to say that for sure.
It's you gotta see it, right? Like I feel like that's fair to say.
Yeah, I think you gotta like I think you need to know the book better than a first glance, a first reading to know if that's the play or not.
Yeah. My gut check is that it is. And then
Mhm.
I think some maniacs are gonna like do insanely well with the 3 endless spells under the one guy's control.
Doubling the range of endless spells suddenly like that brings a whole new light to a lot of them. I feel like
Yeah.
that was like why I went whoa with that
Yeah.
right when you said it, because like so many of them are held back by their range. I think.
That's a fair point. The only counterpoint I have to that is that you can cast through the range of like other units with Salon already.
No, so you don't really need the extra range.
That being said, like you don't have cheap wizards, so you're sacrificing a unit to do so. You're sacrificing your once per turn teleport to do so. So
Oh, to cast or something else, you're saying?
yeah, exactly. So like this just frees that up for you at least. In addition. So there's some secret value there too, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I control up to 3. Per hero phase. So you can still only cast 1 a turn. But you, over the course of 3 turns, could accumulate 3 of them and control them all. That's what that's saying, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Which if you could just like launch them right away, I think that would change the equation a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Because then you just like, oh, I run the 3 very big endless spells and I put walls up.
Right, right. Which, yeah, you can't, it's not letting you do that.
Yeah. But.
It's interesting. I think someone's going to do something silly with doubling the range of an endless spell.
I completely
I just
agree.
have a feeling there's something out there that I can't think of right now, but I think that's going to happen.
Yeah. Like, this may very well may be the highest ceiling one. But, like, I think the all-comer list is...
Thanks to the Celestial Rise, and that's one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and then...
It's easier to play, right? It's just like, oh, I get 2 instead of 1, and then I can do all my stuff faster.
Yeah, but, like... Our friend Ray really likes endless spells, so I could see him being drawn to this if he played this army, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I think that's a great way to do command traits if, like, you can't make them all equal in power. Like, this changes the army, in a way, by taking this command trait. It lets you do shit that you couldn't normally do.
Yeah.
And even if it's not the most powerful thing you can do, I think it's highly valuable to have that in the game.
Yep.
So 2 thumbs up for me. All right. And then in Starborn, skinks have their own command trait and artifact section. Coalesce Saurus have it, which is interesting.
Okay. So
So,
they
like,
have a lot of them here.
yeah.
Okay.
But like I like the idea too that like in addition to like different rule sets, they're just like straight up incentivizing different units too.
Yeah.
All
Now,
right.
did all this come before like the main traits, like abilities for Starborn and whatever?
What do you
So
mean?
you know how the subfactions normally have like a passive ability, and
Yes.
then also other stuff. So did this just come before the passive ability, or do they not have a passive ability?
Oh, they get passives too, but like you know how like Slanesh Soulblight, the spell
Yeah,
lords, you got back and stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, exactly like that. I just thought that the passive came first, and it just seems like we skipped over and just like started on command traits.
It's very weird how this works because like it's almost like Starborn and Coalesced are two greater allegiance abilities. Like that's what I'm saying when they're like two different armies.
Oh, okay, I see. So
Be-
they're not just like subfactions like normal. It's like way different.
yeah,
Okay, got it.
yeah. Don't worry, we didn't skip anything yet.
It just seemed weird.
It
That's
did
all.
seem weird, yeah. Let's see. All right, and then the skink ones. The wizard knows all the spells from the lore of celestial manipulation. Or roll 2d6 instead of d6 when making a run roll for friendly skink units wholly within 18. Or, once per battle, at the start of your opponent's combat phase, you can pick one friendly Seraphon unit within 18 inches of that general. If that unit is within 12 inches of any enemy units, more than 3 inches from all enemy.
This
Okay,
is a mouthful.
yeah, and it's also cut off here, so.
Oh, great.
If the unit is within 12 inches of any enemy units, but more than 3 inches from all enemy units, it can immediately attempt
Something.
a charge, a retreat. I don't know. I don't know what that is. So that's really be very hard to evaluate.
Yeah.
But my honest answer is like rolling 2d6
Probably
per run.
charge.
Probably charge, yeah. Like the
Yeah, like lines up the ranges line up for that to say charge.
yeah.
And that kind of makes sense because it's like at your opponent's combat phase. So a charge on your opponent's turn is weird, and so that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Let's go with that. If we're wrong, we're wrong. Whatever.
Yeah, it's cut off here. I don't have the book.
Yep.
Sorry. But like I still think at the end of the day, I just think the Slan stuff is better than these.
Yeah. If you don't want to run a salon, like yeah, you can pick one of these though. Which
Yeah.
one would you pick if you didn't want to run a salon
If
for
I
whatever reason?
didn't want a Slan, there is a sub faction that I think works very well with Nimble War Leader with the roll 2d6 instead of d6 for making a run. So I think I would pick that necessarily. If the other one's a charge, well, my skinks are like not good in combat. So it'd be tying up units, right? It's hard to evaluate that when you don't know what it does, right?
Oh yeah. Well, it doesn't say that you have. It says pick a Seraphon unit, not a skink unit.
Oh, okay. That changes
So
it.
in theory, you could do that with anything. And if
Yeah.
it says charge like we think, that does seem pretty good. Like you can like leave a guy like in thinking of military terms, you could leave a guy in reserve behind the line, and then like depending on where your opponent charges in, you can go reinforce it or whatever.
Yeah, and like this is good counterpunch stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably pretty good actually. Yeah, but if anybody knows in the comments what that is, like, feel free to drop it. But yeah, like I think pretty good stuff here, to be honest. Like, I don't know, I just like the extra points, I think, but
Yeah.
the
Oh
Nimble
sure.
Lore like none of these are actually bad.
Right.
All right, treasures. So Salon only and then Skink only. So Salon, can do once per battle at the end of the phase with a relocation orb. Remember that name.
Okay.
Relocation orb. Yeah, that was an old mission. But once per battle at the end of the phase, if the bearer has any wounds allocated to them in that phase, you can remove the bearer from the battlefield and set them up anywhere, only within 12 of a friendly cosmic node, more than 9 from enemy units. So get out of jail free.
Yep.
Prison of Amintok. Once per battle at the start of the phase, pick one enemy unit within 12 inches of the bearer. Roll a dice. On a 1, nothing happens. Boo. On a 2 up, that enemy unit suffers a number of mortal wounds equal to the roll. Okay.
Yeah, they're just. I get why they're doing that. They're just like doing a fail condition. It's fine, I guess. They're at least consistent with it.
Yeah. It's Lady Ullander's Stare once per game. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Zoetic Dials. After deployment, but before the first battle round, begin secretly record the number of battle round on the piece of paper. So you pick 2 or 3 or something. At the start of that battle round, reveal the information, and then heal all wounds allocated to the bearer. In addition, during that battle round, add 1 to the save rolls for attacks that target that bearer.
Oh, that's interesting. Who can this go on again?
Slan only.
Oh, Slan only. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Slans don't fight though, right?
No.
That seems kind of useless then.
Because I feel like the gears are turning in your head for it to be like a Carnosaur.
Yeah, they were.
And you're like, oh, pick turn 3, charge him in, he's almost dead.
Yep.
I'm like, oh, no, psych. Now he's not, and now he's better. But
yeah. Oops, Slan only.
Yeah. And then the obvious pick. Once per turn, at the end of the movement phase, if the bearer is on the battlefield, you can say that the general will guide the arrival of their celestial reinforcements. If you do so, the next friendly Starborn unit to be set up on the battlefield can be set up more than 7 inches from all enemy units instead of more than 9.
Once per turn?
Yeah. So I gotta read something in Starborn again, make sure that it actually works. This ability. Yeah, so pick one Starborn unit. Yeah, okay, so remove that Starborn unit from the battlefield and set it up again on the battlefield. So this is a heroic action. And this says at the end of the movement phase, when they're set up, they're within 7.
So it specifically said as celestial reinforcements, right? So I'm assuming that Starborn has an ability, a specific ability that lets you put guys in reserve and then pull them in later, called celestial reinforcements.
Yeah, that must be the case, yeah. I just thought it would be the summoning Seraphon.
Oh, that's a great point. I was thinking it was the once per turn teleport ability.
That's spatial translocation.
So what does this affect?
Oh, it might be Dracothian's tail. Nope. That's right, it does specifically call out. The guide the arrival. Is that just like fluff text though, or is it like?
I mean, maybe, but it seems relevant.
It seems like it's very specifically calling out a unit, but it could very well be fluff text.
So does Starborn have like an ability to set up guys like not on the battlefield?
One of the sub-factions does.
Does that say celestial reinforcements?
No. All right, we'll go there. Dracothian's tail is appear on command.
Oh, okay. That is not.
Yeah, and what this is basically, it's Stormcast Eternals rule of setting them up in the heavens and then dropping them down. That's one of your sub-factions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I thought it could be that. I thought it could be summoning, but none of them are called that. So I think it's just like fluff text.
So is it anytime you set something up?
Yes.
So does that include the teleport with the heroic action? Oh, no, I guess not, because it's not the end of the movement phase, right?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
So
this is confusing.
Yeah, so summoning units or Dracothian's tail.
Okay.
Can be within 7.
I mean, it's still very good.
I like that. And then the rest seem kind of like meh to me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Yeah, setting up within 7 is very good if you can have the right things setting up.
Yeah.
But you can if that subfaction is, yeah.
I mean, we like it on Lord Imperatant, right? That's his name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good rule there. Like, I think it's a good rule here.
Yeah.
And then having summoning, you're always going to have access to something with that, so.
Right.
This just seems great to me.
I agree.
And the rest just seem okay. Alright. And then let's talk about the Skinks ones. Alright, so Incandescent Rectrices. The start of your hero phase, you can heal up to D3 wounds allocated to the bearer. Sacred Stegodon Helmet. Add 1 to save rolls for attacks that target the bearer. In addition, add 1 to the damage characteristic of melee weapons used by the bearer. They made a charge move in the same turn. Important to note, this does not affect mounts because it's a artifact.
I thought that was only command abilities. Oh, no. Artifact because it replaced the weapon
Yeah.
type of thing? Okay, yeah.
Or like it being an enhancement, yeah. But if like this affects the dino rides too, like that would be super good.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe it does affect that. I'm not sure.
It's so confusing.
Yeah, I feel like they should just always affect the whole unit, you know? Or if it doesn't affect the whole unit, just say not made by mounts, you know?
Yeah, just like call it out every time. Specifically, you don't want
Yeah.
it to affect mounts. Yeah.
So maybe it does.
Otherwise, limit it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
no
then
idea.
Cloak of Feathers. A unit that does not have the monster keyword only. Subtract 1 from hit rolls for attacks that target the bearer. In addition, add 4 to the move characteristic, and the bearer can fly. Alright, so to me, these are the real power artifacts here, to be honest. Like 4 inches fly, -1 to hit on your Astrolith bearer. Like, that's great.
Yep.
If you're running like an Engine of the Gods, that Sacred Stegodon helmet probably rules. Or even like Stegodon Chief. Just +1 to save on that thing.
Yeah.
But even then, like +1 to save is just good.
Yeah, just +1 to save is just a good ability, and then it's like, oh, and also you do more damage. It's like,
Sick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Absolutely. To heal the D3, I mean, that's fine. But like, I don't think I'm writing home about that, you know?
Yeah, I guess it depends. Like, if you can find a really good high save guy to put that on, it could be good.
Yeah, and you do have a bodyguard role in this army, so.
Yeah, and then you could potentially heal him again.
Yeah.
With say like heroic recovery or whatever.
Yeah, so like the bodyguard keeps him from getting just 1 shot. And then
it's skink. Okay, skink only.
Yeah.
So which ones are actually skinks that we can put this on?
Astrolith Bearer, Wizards, like Star Priest.
Okay, and you said the Engine of the Gods is a skink in some way?
Oh yeah, that's true, yes.
It is. Oh, okay.
Yeah. The Stegodon
you had already mentioned that was a thing, but it didn't seem like a skink unit to me, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah, so it's Stegodon Chieftain too.
Okay.
Which actually on a monster, like this seems a lot better.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think these are all 3 pretty good ones.
Yeah, I think you can find a home for one of these in pretty much any list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're taking the Space Folder staff first. But these are the secondary ones. Like the rest of the Salon ones, hard pass in my opinion. And then
I mean, I could honestly see taking one of these over that one. Like these are pretty good. Like, and you can't always find.
Yeah, that's actually fair.
Yeah.
If you have like a ton of bodies and your whole goal is just to do the Mortal Wound Bomb, maybe you just do take one of these.
Yeah, you might. Yeah, you might not be wanting to summon too much, and yeah.
Fair point. Yeah, but I like these actually. Like, I think there's 4 good artifacts here.
Yep, I agree.
Sick. And then they have their own spell lore. Slon has its own, and then Skinks have their own. Okay.
Man, these guys have a lot of different stuff, don't they?
Yep.
Holy crap.
And we're only done with one of the sub-factions after this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and it sounds like they each have sub-factions as well?
Yep. Only 2 each, though.
Okay, alright. So there's 4 sub-factions?
Yep.
Total? Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so Comet's Call. You know and hate this one. So it's the one that the Salon used to have on its War Scroll. but it was moved to a Starborn spell, which is what I mean when they're like you have to commit to Starborn to have range damage.
Okay.
Because like when this was in Coalesce, it's nutty, but this is you pick D3 different units if it's a 10 or more on the casting roll. Yeah, it doesn't say unmodified, just 10 or more. Up to D6 different enemy units instead of D3. And each of those suffers D3 mortal wounds.
Okay. Now, did it used to work like that too, where you could be modified to 10 plus?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So maybe they actually mean it this time.
Yep.
Because man, the amount of times that they mess that up is just ungodly high.
Yeah, but I'm also not fully ruling out that they're gonna not change it later.
It's true.
But wildly oppressive spell. I think like that's so powerful. So much damage.
Yep.
In addition to like the mortal wound bomb that you can do from the allegiance abilities with your star points. The terrain piece has a little bit of a nuke too. Like you're gonna have a lot of range damage with this arm.
Yeah, and that doesn't have the on a 4+ do D3 or something like that, like they normally do. Yeah, it's just like, oh, yep.
Just D3.
Yep, just do it.
Casting value 7, yeah, so.
But I mean, the slung gets +1, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Tapok's Beneficence, yeah. Casting value 5, range of 18. Oh, by the way, Comet's Call doesn't have a range. You just pick D3 things on the table.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
Good to know.
But I was about to say, too, like, just imagine +6 to all these because you're Astrolith Bearer. But they seem to really want you to bring in Starborn. So, 18 range, really 24. Pick one friendly skink unit, wholly within range and visible to the caster. Subtract 1 from wound rolls that target that unit until the end of your next hero phase. Okay, so you just, like, put a nice defensive buff on your little skinks.
Yeah. Seemed pretty good.
Yeah. Drain magic? Oh, go ahead.
But I mean, it's not just skinks, right? Like, again, it's like it could be the hero skinks on big monsters and stuff.
Yeah. And then the Raptidons are skinks.
Yeah.
Anything with the skink keyword.
Right. And that that's where it's like, oh, just skinks, that's not so bad, but no, it's a whole pile of random units that just happen to have that word.
Yeah.
Backed on somewhere.
Some might say it's the most powerful keyword in the game.
It seems like it.
Yeah, like it's not as power. I don't think it's as powerful in this book as it once was.
Mm-hmm.
But there's still value to it. It's still very good.
Yeah.
And like -1 to wound on something, that's great.
Yep.
Drain magic, casting value 6. If you cast it until the end of the phase, add 1 to dispelling rolls made by friendly units, and subtract 1 from unbinding rolls made by enemy units. Isn't that weird?
Oh, they're gonna make me remember which is which.
Yeah. Dispelling is getting rid of endless spells. Unbinding is counter spells.
Yep, and I always get them backwards.
Yep.
All right.
So you're just better at that shit. So you're better at casting, and you're better at getting rid of endless spells with this by 1, basically.
Yep. Yeah.
It's a very weird way to do it.
Oh, very weird. Yeah, because it's not really better by 1 of casting, because you could just fail on your own.
Yeah.
It doesn't help you, but very weird.
Is that worth a spell slot? Maybe. I don't like it much, but I'm not ruling it out.
Oh, yeah. It's a spell. It's a spell that, that doesn't feel worth it at all.
Yeah. I'm not into it.
No, me either.
Mystical Unforging. Casting value 8, range of 12. Pick 1 enemy unit within range. Until the start of your next hero phase, rend characteristic of that unit's weapon is treated as dash.
Holy crap.
That's the powerhouse, I think, for defense.
Holy crap.
Yeah, so those, Varangard with rend 3 on the charge? Nope.
Well, okay, that's actually interesting.
Yeah, because how do modifiers affect this?
Yeah,
like
what happens first? I'm sure that's known. There's a common way to do it, but because like on a charge, it sets the characteristic, right? And this also sets it. So which one takes precedence? I don't remember, and that's wildly different in the power level. But then also, if something else modifies it like up or down, that happens after you set the characteristic, right?
Correct. That I know.
Okay.
But when it just
Okay.
changes the
That's
rend,
like magic. I can remember that.
yeah, when it changes the rend, I don't know. I'm guessing the most recent effect.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh man, that's gonna be confusing.
for sure.
Undeniably powerful, but like, man, what a headache.
Yeah. Good spell.
Yeah, yeah.
Either way, though.
Well, powerful spell. Maybe not the best designed spell.
Yeah, that might be fair. It's definitely super good. And on
Yeah,
the turn, you can
like-
get your ward too. Like,
Yeah.
you can have turns where you survive very well with this
Oh yeah.
as a power piece. Yeah. Super into that. And then Stellar Tempest. Casting value 8, range of 24. Pick one enemy unit within range. And it's a 5-up horde clear. At
Oh, okay.
24
This
or
is the one
30th
that you
range.
like. You switch into if you need it.
Yep.
Type of thing. Yeah.
That means
Horde clear though. That's not bad.
yeah, 5-up I think is the number, like the same way that all rallies that are 4-up should be brought to a 5-up. All horde clears that are 6-up should be brought to a 5-up.
Yeah.
In my opinion. And 30-inch range, and it's not even wholly within, or like the models within. You just, if the unit's tippy toes within 30, you hit the unit.
Is it every? Oh no, pick unit within one range. Within range.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Equal number of models in that unit. Yeah, yeah. No, it's not like pick the number of models in range or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
So that's super good.
That is a long ass way.
Absolutely. But you know what? I think like that's 6 good. Let's see. I think there's 3 very good spells here. Comet's Call, Mystical Unforging, Stellar Tempest. Tepok's Beneficence is pretty good too. The only one I don't love is Drain Magic here.
Yeah, Drain Magic is just kind of stinky.
Yeah. But the rest, like, I think you have place for all of them. But only the Slon can pick these, right?
Okay.
So maybe there's actually value to having the 2 more spells on the guy.
Yeah,
If you
because
want
they
all
are so
these.
good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I assume he by default only gets 1, right?
on his War Scroll,
Yeah, he doesn't like get 2 picks by default or something.
he actually, he only gets 1 pick. And he has 2 spells on his War Scroll.
Okay, okay.
Interestingly enough. Yeah, but yeah, this makes me think that picking 2 extras is pretty good here.
Yeah, it might be, honestly. 'Cause those are good.
And let's talk about the skink wizards. So value or Cosmic Crush, value 7, range of 12. Pick one enemy unit within range and roll visible to the caster. Or pick an enemy unit within range and visible to the caster. Roll a number of dice equal to the number of models in that unit. For each roll that exceeds the unit's save characteristic, that unit suffers 1 mortal wound. Okay, hold on. So range of 12. Roll a number of dice equal to the number of models in that unit. Okay, so if they have a high save, it's better.
Reach roll.
That equals or
Oh,
exceeds.
okay.
Yeah.
So it most hits 1 wound units that have a good save.
Yes.
And in fact, it like just like if you somehow had a 1 wound model with a 2-up save, you practically wipe the unit.
Yes.
Okay. However, that's not normally the case. So
No.
I think it naturally balances itself.
So this is probably the best against Mortek Guard with a 4-up save.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah,
can't think of
stuff like
any
that.
3-up, 1 wound guys, you know?
Not off the top of my head, I can't. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an interesting spot for it to be. Like, I think that's a pretty decent chunk of damage, no matter who you hit.
Yeah.
I like that one.
That is very interesting.
Celestial Harmony. Casting value 5, range 18. Pick a Seraphon unit wholly within range, invisible. The casting roll is 10 up. Pick all friendly Seraphon units wholly within range, invisible to the caster. Their bravery 10. Probably a pass.
Probably a pass.
Speed of Hanshi. Okay, so this one's interesting and probably needs an FAQ. Value 6, range of 18. Pick a friendly Kroiger or Skink unit that is not a monster and that is wholly within range and visible to the caster. That unit makes a normal move. Oh no, that one's fine actually. There's a different one that needs an FAQ.
Oh, okay. Because I was really looking for like what needs an FAQ there. And
So
I
there's
couldn't
one
find
that
it.
like teleports a unit and then puts it back down, and it doesn't say outside of 9.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
but this is just a move. But you have a skink unit that moves 12. That's not a monster. Um, and then the rest are like pretty slow, so double move is always very good on that too. Anyway.
Yeah.
So
now it's the little raptor guys, right? That are the really fast ones
Yep.
that aren't monsters. Okay. Those are the new ones, right?
yes.
Okay.
And I rate them, to be honest. I like double move's always good, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Even if it's on a screen. Almost especially if it's on a screen, to be honest.
Yeah. Or like those units seem like the fast attack guys that are like gonna go try to take a point, the outside point for you.
Yeah.
That really helps you get to whichever one that is.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, pretty good spells overall on the Starborn side. But
Yep.
like I think Comet's Call is pretty list defining with like how much damage it can do.
It seems like it can do a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
Can you get any additional pluses to cast, or is that pretty much it? The +1 on the Salon?
There is a bonus cast artifact in Coalesced.
Okay, but those are separate now.
Yes.
Okay.
And I think Lord Croak has more than +1 too.
Oh, and he is a Salon, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so he can take that. So okay.
Yeah.
So that's pretty
Alright, and then I think it's sub-faction time. So we talked about Dracothian's Tail already. It's the Stormcast deploy rule. One on the ground,
Yep.
one in heaven. And then you can just drop them in. I think this gives that staff a lot of value.
Yeah. Nope, that makes sense.
Yeah. And like that just seems very good to me here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, especially when you have like things that well, it's at the end of the movement, so like, I guess it depends on how good your shooting is, too. That really helps determine that as well.
Yeah, and it's just I guess you do have a redeploy already, so it's not as useful for that kind of thing.
Yeah. And speaking of redeploy,
Okay.
Fangs of Sotek. This one's wild. The commanding player of a Fangs of Sotek army can use the redeploy command ability up to 3 times in each of their opponent's movement phases. In addition, the first 2 times the redeploy command is issued to any friendly Fangs of Sotek skink unit in that phase, no command points are spent.
Wow. Okay.
So, something interesting about that. I'm not sure if you caught it. The first 2 times are free, where everybody else is you issue it once and then the next 2 are free, you know?
Wait, I don't. No, I did not catch. What? Say again?
In addition, the first two times.
Oh
the
yeah.
redeploy
I
command.
did catch that. Yeah. Are
I'm
you
just
saying other people that get that kind of ability have to pay for the first and then get it free after?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I honestly don't remember the other ones that get that for free.
Maw Crushers, for example.
Oh,
That
okay.
can just triple issue.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. They get to triple issue. Yeah.
Yeah, anything that double issues like Thankful, the second one is free.
Right.
Yeah, and this one is just like you get 2 free ones, and then the third one. All right, now you have to pay points.
Like, all right, buddy, pay up. You've
Which-
used enough.
That makes it way stronger.
Oh yeah, that's really good. They
Yeah.
basically can just like go around and do it like whenever the heck they want.
Yep. And so,
That is very interesting.
yeah, they can,
I don't know. That seems like just a fun one to play, and you'll get really good at redeploying real fast.
Yeah, so I'm curious though too. So, can issue Fangs at Sotek Army can issue redeploy command up to 3 times. In addition, the first 2 times redeploy is issued to any Fangs of Sotek unit in that phase. So if I'm reading this right, if you have a lot of command points somehow, you could redeploy 3 not skink things, and you just have to pay for it. But the skink ones are free.
That is what that sounds like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a nuance people miss.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good. Okay.
I like that one. Yeah, I would probably take that.
Yeah, I think that one's going to be obvious power, especially when
Yeah.
you have like. We don't talk about battle tactics much, but there is one that like take one that an opponent controls with skink units. There's going to be a world where you're on the point, they walk up to you, you redeploy off the point, and then next turn you get your battle tactic by
Yep.
walking back on the point too.
Oh yeah.
So that's kind of cute. But yeah, like that, 2 very powerful stuff actually. Like I see both of these having major play.
I think yeah, and just to clarify on the point that I was making earlier, like I think it like this one's just good for like almost like a new player to try. Not necessarily a new player, but like just someone who wants to get better at redeploying because you can like do it so often that you can kind of get a feel for which ones are like when it's good to use and when it's not as good to use.
Oh
But
yeah,
like without like the cost of like being so high of doing it.
yeah. I love that about it too, to be honest. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that's actually very interesting.
Yeah. I rate this one quite a bit.
Yep.
All right, and then I think we said we're gonna go down to the terrain pieces real quick. Here we go. Okay, why are these sideways?
Oh god.
So Starborn or engine is if there are any friendly Seraphon wizards within 3 inches of this terrain feature, you can pick one other terrain feature in the battlefield and roll a dice for each enemy unit within 3 inches of that terrain feature. Add 2 to the roll if that terrain feature is within 18 inches of this terrain feature. Subtract 2 if it's more than 36. On a 4-up, that enemy unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. So you just pick a terrain piece, you turn it into a nuke. You hit everything around it for some mortal wounds. It's better the closer it is to you.
And it only hits enemy units?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the comet, just a little more directed.
Yep.
Did I get that right?
Basically.
Or did this one have the 4-up takes D3?
It's 4-up, take D3, 2-up if they're within 18, and 6-up
Oh,
if they're
okay.
outside of 36.
Okay, so it kinda is very close.
Yeah. But you're doing that and the comet, you know? Like.
Oh yeah. Oh no, absolutely, right? Like so you can kind of double up your comet.
Yeah.
That.
And then when you have 15 points, you're shooting that AoE thing from all your cosmic nodes too. Like you have a lot of ranged output in Starborn.
Yeah, you do.
None of it's from shooting, interestingly.
Yeah, none of it's even from magic, interestingly. Oh no, I guess the comet is. But like there's a lot that's not, which is kind of weird.
Yeah. So like you can deny comet, but you can't deny this, and you can't deny
right. Yeah, you have to have awards to do that. And that's it.
Yeah.
Wild. Okay.
But yeah, again, like I love that this isn't in Coalesced, which it used to be too, you know? Like
okay,
it used to
it's
be
a
the terrain
problem
piece.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess we'll talk about the Coalesced one because we're here, and then we're going to Coalesced right away after this.
Okay.
And basically a lot of the Seraphon, like the Source guys, have like a bite attack. And if you're within 12 inches of this terrain feature, you add 1 to that bite roll. And basically what it is, like at the end of combat, roll a dice for each guy that's within 1 inch of an enemy unit, and on a 6-up, it's a mortal wound. Near this, it's a 5-up.
Okay.
Actually, realistically, near this, it's a 4-up because Coalesce just get +1 to that too.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah.
It still only gives a +1, but yeah, I got you.
Yeah. But you see what I mean?
Seems
like
less exciting.
Yeah, but it's like some mortal wound output at melee, which is definitely less good. But I love that
But
they're
you
like,
said you have to be within 12 of this to get that extra +1?
yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
So, that's... I mean, it's probably fine still, but it doesn't seem as exciting.
It's definitely less good. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
All right.
Honestly, the mortal wound output difference there is pretty wild, I think.
Yeah. I guess they're just
Right?
thinking that you're defending your home and then you have like a bunch of bite guys.
So, is it each bite attack just gets... Each guy that has a bite attack gets to do it once?
Yeah, for each model.
For each model. Okay. And, like, there's... And so, like, some of them, like, have multiple models in the unit, like, that have bite attacks?
Yeah. So
Okay.
Exorcist Warriors are like a unit of 10. Each one of them has a bite,
Okay,
for
I see.
example.
Okay, so it could add up then.
Yeah, it could very
It
well
could
add
add
up.
up a lot of damage. Okay, alright.
Yeah.
That's fair. Well, it's giving you 1/6. 1 out of 6 models, it's giving 1 extra damage. That's what it's doing, right?
Yeah. But like it's also pretty tough too because it's within 1 inch. And it's at the end of combat phase. So if you kill a bunch and they just like pull models smartly,
Go
you're
back
never
a little
gonna get
bit.
it. You
Yeah.
know?
That seems weak.
Yeah.
But it's free, right? So, like, that's okay.
Yeah, it's free.
It doesn't seem great. Yeah, okay. Anyway.
And like maybe you can like make it extra scary to stay on objectives where you normally would, because I'm just gonna like 4 mortal wound you if you stay here.
Did they have to be wholly within 12? Or was it just within 12?
Holy within.
Oh, ew.
Yep.
That makes it very, very difficult to use effectively, I think.
Yeah, just your home base one, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, oh well.
Yeah.
That's fine. The other one is super good, though.
Yeah, the other one's super good. I think it's a good distinction to not give coalesce range damage.
Oh, that's totally fine. Yeah. I'm just saying the one they gave the coalesce is kind of stinky.
Yeah, I agree. Alright, let's see. What else did the coalesce do? So, like I said, they add 1 to the bite rolls for those like mortal wound biteys. And then they have this very lamely named scaly skin to one of the most powerful effects in the game.
Okay.
Yep. Subtract 1 from damage inflicted to a minimum of 1 by each successful attack that targets a coalesced source, Kroxigor, or monster.
Oh yeah, that ability.
Yeah. It's just called Scaly Skin. Like, isn't that underwhelming for what it does?
That should... I love when they're like on other things, they're like, oh my god, the legendary tactician gets +1 command point.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And yeah, this is just like scaly skin. Look at those scales. Most powerful ability in the game.
Yeah, or I could see, like, what is it? Like, Dragon Ogre Sharath having a rule that's like, he who breaks the sky. And it's like, when he charges, he gets +1 to hit with his hooves.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
It's like, there's just something like, I don't know, this deserves a better name.
Yeah.
To me. Like, even
but that's the only thing you're
ancients.
going to complain about here, because this ability is so powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, like, that's why I don't think they should have range damage, because they're, like, clearly have this ability to be defensible in melee, you know? They should incentivize you for going into melee.
For the record, if you think I ever disagreed with that sentiment, I didn't.
No. I don't think you did. I just
okay, all right.
think it's important to note too, right?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. Why it's written like that. It's just like
why they specifically went, no, you can't have both of these things.
Yes.
Yeah, got it.
Okay. Let's see.
And you at home better get it too. That's
yeah.
the point.
Alright, and then see, this is the real fun part about Coalesce to me. Is you have 4 different monsters' actions based on the monster that takes it.
That makes sense for them.
Yeah, and that's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the Coalesced Gargantuan Claws on the Carnosaur. Pick one enemy model within 3 inches and roll a dice, and if it's greater than the wound characteristic, you gobble it up.
Yeah, okay.
You like those rules.
I do.
Yeah. It's only one.
Like the command, models and stuff like that, or potentially, like it's like I could just randomly snipe your hero right now. Like, there you go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, is it greater than? Greater than. Okay.
Greater than, yeah.
Okay.
That
So you
changes
can't-
the math a little bit.
Oh, it definitely does. Yeah, because
Yeah.
like the 5 wound heroes, you can't snipe a third of the time. It's only 6 of the time.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, I always like that kind of stuff. Engine of the Gods, not engine, Earth Shaking Charge, only Stegodon. There's a lot of different Stegodons, and so what this does is you pick one enemy unit within 1 inch. Oh, okay. So you can only do this on the charge. Pick an enemy unit within an inch. On a 4-up, you give that thing Strike Last. It's pretty narrow when you can do it.
Yeah, but it's still pretty good though.
Yeah. It's
And
good enough. Yeah.
it's quote unquote free as well. So
And on a unit that can be battle line too.
yeah,
If that changes the equation for you at all.
I mean, it's basically just a matter of like what else can he do with his monstrous action, right?
I guess it's always Roar. Which is super good.
Yeah, but you only get one roar, right?
Yep.
Like, so yeah, you could roar, or you could do this.
Yeah. And Strike Last is always powerful. So
yeah, I don't know. I think I'd use this over roar sometimes.
Yeah, it's perfectly acceptable, I think.
Yeah, especially if you're like double, triple charging something and just like really don't want it to fight, like their big guy or whatever.
Yeah,
and then you actually get this off, and it's like, okay, yeah.
And realistically, it's gonna be another thing that roars it too. Isn't that mix for you?
Say again?
Yeah, like you're gonna if you're charging something with like 3 or 4 units, realistically this won't be the only monster in that charge.
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah. So that other thing will be doing the roar.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that's good. And then the bludgeoning sweep from the Battletome. My favorite little guy. So you pick one enemy unit within 3 that is not a monster. Roll the dice. The roll is less than or equal to the number of models in that unit. That unit suffers a number of mortal wounds equal to the roll.
Less than the number of models?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's really good at hitting, like, units of 7 or more.
Yep.
Okay.
Like, so...
And just d6 damage against them.
Yeah, I think it's less than or equal. Oh, no, just less than. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
But, so, like...
So you're not swinging at a hero because it literally does nothing. But, like... Yeah.
But honestly, like, how many times you're like, oh, that's a unit of 10, whatever. And just to like slap it for d6 mortal wounds right off the bat.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. Like, that one might be my favorite one on the list. But
the best part about it, once again, is it's free.
Yeah.
You can just do it.
Oh, and I somehow missed the Troglodon. So, Troglodon on a 2-up, the range of the unit's Stench of Death is increased to 12 from 9. And that's just an aura of -1 to hit.
There's got to be a time where that matters, but...
Not a lot.
Not a lot, yeah.
I agree.
He can roar.
Oh, yeah, he can be your roar man, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's why I skipped it. It was underwhelming.
Yep.
But, good stuff there. I like monstrous actions. I like heroic actions too, honestly. Like, I think that's underutilized space in this game.
Mm-hmm.
So, good stuff, and the allegiance is there. And the great thing about that one, it's only 1 page.
Yeah, that one's nice. Okay, so what I missed to start with here is that Starborn and Coalesce are literally like, there's no like Seraphon abilities. There's Starborn and this Coalesced.
Yes.
Okay.
They're basically 2 different armies.
Yeah, it's literally 2 different. Okay, I understand your comment about that now.
Got it. Okay, glad we're on the same page.
Yep.
Let's see. Command traits for the Slon, and then the other stuff, instead of for Skinks, it's for Saurus.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, they're just trying to incentivize different units and different armies like these. Just cool. So what can
they still have the Slon ones, so that's interesting.
Yeah. Just like Salon's so hard not to take.
Yeah.
And we'll get there when we get him too. But he's a good one still. Let's see. So we got Wrath of the Aeons. Once per battle at the start of your combat phase, you can say that the general will rouse the wrath of the Seraphon. If you do so until the end of that turn phase, add 1 to the attack characteristic of melee weapons used by Sars and Kroxigor units while they're wholly within 12 of this unit. Not bad. And he's a pretty fat base too, so he has a pretty big circle with the 12-inch from there.
Oh, is it a much bigger base now with the new one?
Yes.
Okay, because didn't it used to be like really small?
Yep.
Okay.
I think it's a 60 or 80. I don't remember.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty big.
Yeah. It's decently big.
Yep.
So I like that one a lot. Let's see. Custodian of Divine Technology. Pick 2 artifacts of power from the treasures and note them on your roster. The general has both of those artifacts of power. They cannot be given to any others. The 2 artifacts are in addition to the first artifact of power enhancement you can take for your army. So this guy gets 3 artifacts, if that's your command trait.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Question is, are there 3? Are there like 2 extra worth giving to him? I would assume so, but
yeah, I think we have to get into that because I don't quite remember. But I think you can take core ones with this too. And then right now,
I don't see any reason why not.
yeah, for some reason the Slon's chair does not count as a mount, even though the OBR guy's one does.
Okay, sure.
So he can take core ones and then like the season ones too. So that might change. Oh no, it has to be treasures from the temple cities. Okay. So only on this list.
Oh, it does specifically say it has to be the.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. That's fair.
I missed that at first, but
that's good, honestly.
I think that's great too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see, Master.
That doesn't make it more powerful for the record. Just better game design, I think.
Yep, I agree. Let's see, Master of the Material Plane. General knows 2 extra lores from the lore of ancient domains. Okay.
Okay, so it's the same thing as the other one.
And then this one's interesting. Dominating Mind. Once per turn, at the start of your hero phase, you can pick 1 coalesced monster unit on the battlefield and say that it will have its mind dominated by this general. If you do so, roll a dice. On a 2-up, add 1 to the wound rolls for attacks made with melee weapons by that unit until the start of your next hero phase. If that unit is picked to have its mind dominated has a mount, this unit command trait only affects attacks made by that unit's mount. So, those are the 4. That one's super interesting, though, right?
What's pretty?
Yeah.
Maybe.
So you
I don't know what it does yet.
So you pick a dinosaur, like you pick a monster anywhere on the table.
Yeah.
On a 2-up, it gets +1 to wound until your next hero phase.
But if you pick one that has a mount, it's only the mount that gets it.
Yes.
And not the guy on top.
Yep.
Okay. Sure.
So you're picking a monster and you're making it go haywire.
Yep. And by haywire, you mean +1 to wound on a 2-up?
Yep.
But it's once per turn, so okay.
An interesting nuance there, too, is it's once per turn until your next turn, I think it says. Until the start of your next hero phase.
Yep.
So if it's your turn, you pick a guy, you give him +1 to wound. Then it's the opponent's turn. That guy still has +1 to wound. You're picking another fella to get +1 to wound. And then if they get priority, you have 3 guys with +1 to wound. And then
it says at the start of your hero phase.
Oh, it is your hero phase. Okay, I thought it was D. My bad.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, so I'm wrong. Never mind.
No, that's okay.
But, yeah. +1 to wound ain't bad. Which one do you like here?
Well, we need to know what the spells do to see if they're as good as the other ones, right?
And I guess we need to know what the artifacts do to see if they're worth taking.
Yeah, honestly, this I don't think we can decide yet.
All right, let's jump ahead then.
Yeah.
And then the Saurus only, Prime War Beast, pick a guy with a mount, add 1 to the attack characteristics of the weapons used by the general's mount. And I'll bury the lead here a little bit. You have some mounts with multiple attacks. Like the Carnosaur, for
Ooh, okay.
example. Yeah.
Yep. So that's always good.
And I think one of them's a damage 5 attack.
Holy crap.
So we loving that.
Yeah.
Yes. Thick scale to hide. Add 1 to save rolls for attacks that target this general. Great. Vengeful Defender. At the start of your hero phase, this general is wholly within your territory. You can pick this general and up to 2 other Saurus or Kroxigor units wholly within 12 of the general. They each make a normal move. Okay. All 3 of
I'm
those
gonna go
moves.
with I don't care about the salon ones so much. These are good.
I'm feeling
Or
that
at
right
least
now
easier
too.
to play. Yeah.
Yeah, which is interesting.
Yep.
Oh, but like I don't even know which one I like the best here.
I agree. I think for me it depends on like the multiple attack ones, like how good all that is, because that seems very good.
Yeah.
But then like it also depends on their saves. Do I want the plus ones? I don't know. I feel like you can build this so many different ways.
I feel like too, it depends on I think you build the list and then you look at which one you like the best from here.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think there's gonna be lists where like you're not running the big monsters, you're running like a bunch of Agrodons or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just picking they get to make a normal move because they're very fast to begin with.
I can honestly see all of these. These
Yeah.
are all just really good.
Yeah, I think in my mind the make the normal move one is the clear winner, but like they're so good, all of these. I don't know. Let's see.
I mean, that one certainly is very good because when moving wins games, but the other two, something to be said for just a little extra, a decent extra survivability or decent extra damage, right?
Yeah, I'll be honest, like these 3 here are like they're like better than some that entire books get.
Yeah, every single one of them is.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were like, let's print all good stuff for this. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's good that you can't just like take all of these to be honest.
Yeah.
So it's like there's meaningful choices here, which is kind of
Yep.
cool.
Yep.
I guess that's very cool even.
Yep. No, it is for sure.
All right, let's see. So, good stuff. Artifacts. Now we'll see if the 3 artifacts on the salon's worth taking.
All right.
Let's go through all of these. Let's see. Throne of the Lost Gods. Add move to the bearer's move characteristic and add 1 to the wounds. Okay, so it's a little faster, a little hardier.
Yeah, is this Slan only?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah, these are all Salon only. So Crystalline Skull. Bearer starts with a power reserve of 0. Each time it casts a spell that is not unbound, add 1. Once per battle in your hero phase, you can say that the bearer will shadow their skull, pick an enemy unit within 12, and then roll a dice equal to the power reserve. Each 3 up is a mortal. Okay, I don't care. The IXI, ITXI. I heard that it might be Itsy, like they're like tiny grubs.
Okay, sure.
Itsy. All right, that sounds British.
Yeah,
Like that dry British humor. That makes sense to me. Itsy grubs. Start of the hero phase, you can heal 1 wound allocated to the bear. In addition, in your hero phase, you can reroll 1 chanting, or 1 casting, or 1 dispelling roll for the bear. And in the enemy hero phase, you can reroll 1 unbinding. Okay, so a little bit of a heal and a reroll. Good. And
not
then
bad.
the last one, Coatl. Yeah, Coatl Familiar. It's a once per game that you get to cast an additional spell from your lore.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, Nighthaunt have something like that too. And it's like hard to
So,
justify, but
so we still need to know what all the spells do.
yeah. But
I don't know. I'm not getting anything that's making me super want to take the 2 extra artifacts though.
in my mind, there's like one art. It's the Itsy grubs. Like the reroll
Yeah.
1 cast. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I think you move heaven and earth to get that. But and then be very glad that this is in Starborn.
That's exactly what I was just thinking. Yeah.
Yep.
Or be very sad depending on
Your perspective of things.
you
Yeah.
like this army. Yeah.
Yeah. And then let's see. Yeah, I think Itsy Grubs is the only real one. Crystalline Skull is like a lot of homework for like a few mortal wounds.
Yeah, a few potential mortal wounds
Yeah.
even.
And the thing to
Yeah.
notice about the Throne of Lost Gods is like +4 movement, super good. But then it brings you to 10 wounds, and you're no longer a Galatian champion. So you no longer get cover.
Which is kind of weird.
Or like Lookout Sir, or immunity to shooting.
But basically, it's a buff and a debuff.
Yep, it brings you to the worst save, or wound characteristic in the game.
Yep.
So I don't like it.
That's a weird hidden thing
Yep,
on that one.
definitely. Yeah, let's see. What do the Source Relics do? So, enemy models with a wound characteristic 1 or 2 cannot contest objectives while they're within 6 of the bearer. Add 1 to the attack characteristic of the bearer's melee weapons. If the number of wounds allocated to the bearer is equal to or greater than half the bearer's wound characteristic, add 2 instead. And then there's Blade of Realities. Pick 1 of the bearer's melee weapons. Improve the rend characteristic of that weapon by 1. In addition, add 1 to the damage inflicted by each successful attack that targets a hero.
I don't think I'm taking the salon ones. Just maybe that one. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I think you
With
take
the
Itsy
reroll.
Grubs, and I think you take Blade of Reality. Seems like really good. I guess it depends on their weapons. Sotek's Gaze, that's also probably very good.
Yeah, that one caught my eye. That one seemed very good. Is that not actually as powerful ability as it looks like?
You know, slaves have it,
Yeah.
and I don't see it run a lot.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like it is super good. But I feel like there might be enough things in the meta that are like cavalry or like more than 2 wound things.
You know, that's fair. Yeah. Like people aren't really trying to contest objectives enough with like 1-2 wound stuff.
Yeah. I think
To
in
make
the
it
world
worth
of Soulblight though, like that's gonna change. And then OBR too. Like those books are
Sure.
very powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was just like an underutilized artifact to begin with. Which is like Arcane Tome was always like the safe choice.
Right.
And it might just
Because
come out more.
we were super high on that artifact and slaves, right? It
Yeah.
just like did get used. Yeah.
I don't, because I feel like it should.
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess like Karkadrak's like pretty good. But like, I think this kind of thing is way better on a bigger base too. Like you
Yep.
don't have anything that's like a Carnosaur in Slaves.
Right.
So like that might just be better on a Carnosaur necessarily. Yeah. Yeah, I like all 3 of these actually, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what I was thinking. Like you read them and they all seem pretty good. Like,
Yeah.
they're all just like good buffs as opposed to like something that's hard to use or
Yep.
one time or like once per game or whatever.
Yeah, you don't have to do like calculus to figure out how much damage it does.
Yeah, exactly.
Good stuff. All right.
Okay, so now one thing about this. So Coalesce don't get the summoning points, right?
Correct.
Okay, all right.
Yep. And we're gonna move on to the spells, and we're gonna. I think they're very different, if I remember correctly. Oh, they both have Drain Magic, which is the one we didn't like. And then let's see, the Earth Trembles. Casting value 8. Pick 1 corner of the battlefield and draw a straight line between the caster and that corner. And roll a dice for each enemy unit passed across that line. On a 4-up, it does D3 mortal wounds.
Wait, what? Where are we drawing this line?
From the model casting it to the corner of the battlefield.
You just pick which corner you want?
Yeah.
That's bizarre.
I feel like that's super hard to use right.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like...
What? That's a long way. Like, you could potentially hit a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I guess you could be in one corner and pick the other. I don't know. Like, I think this reads as way more off-the-wall good than it's actually going to be.
I think you're gonna, like, someone who's good at seeing this is gonna, like, it figuring out, like, how to position perfectly for it and, like, seeing like how many models are going to get hit, and
Yeah. It does still fail on a 4-up.
right.
Or
But you could potentially hit a lot of stuff with it
yeah.
by accident, right? Now, is it what's the casting value of it?
8.
6? Oh, 8. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Was I on the wrong one?
Casting value 8. Yeah. It's the first
Oh
one.
yeah, there. Yeah.
So it's like it's also hard to get off too. I feel like I don't know. I don't feel like the spell's super good, but I feel like
Yeah.
the game it's gonna work is just gonna be like me and my friends talked about that game forever. Like it was so cool.
Oh, right.
Like I just drew a line from here to the edge of the table, and I just like hit a bunch of things, and oh, the earth trembled, bro. It was awesome.
Yeah, it just accidentally wrecked the whole pile of stuff, like in that one game, that one time.
Yeah,
So that means it feels too cute, right?
I definitely agree. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think it's good, but like I don't know. I'm prepared to be wrong about that too, to be honest.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go to the next ones. Empowered Celestine or Celestite, casting value 7, range 18. You pick a source unit and you add 1 to the rend characteristics of that weapon or that unit's weapons. Um, they have to be a weapon that says Celestite in the name. So it's like the
Okay.
riders. It's not like the jaws and the claws and stuff of the dinos themselves.
Okay. Yeah. I gotcha.
So like that's something we have to be careful of when we're like looking at source units and seeing what is Celestite. I know the
Yep.
Kroiger weapons are that. I know the I think the Saurus weapons are that too. I think it's just like the rider weapons and then just the not dinosaurs,
Uh-huh.
which I think that has a varying degree of effectiveness. I think this makes the Croxigors Ren 3 at some point. So I think
That's
there's
pretty good.
value here.
Yeah.
But when you
It's
first
probably fine.
yeah,
But yeah.
but I think a lot of people are going to be disappointed it does not hit your dinosaurs. But I think it will be okay.
Yeah, I mean that's the obvious balance point for it, right? That's what they were
Yeah.
going for.
Yep. Let's see. We got Drain Magic. We didn't like that one last time. It's the exact same. Itzel's Invigoration. Range of 6 or casting value 6, range of 12. Pick a monster, wholly within range, invisible to the caster. You use the top row of that fighting profile. And like those are always like kind of nice to have.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. And then Telepathic Summons. This is the one that I think needs FAQ. So range of 6, or range of 9, value 6. Pick a source unit that is not a monster, invisible to the caster. Remove it from the battlefield and set it up again on the battlefield, wholly within range of the caster. Outside of 9 of enemy units is what it's going to say post FAQ.
But it has to be within. You have to set it up again
Yeah.
within range of the caster.
Yeah, it's just that Zinch spell. And Slaves to Darkness. That everyone's like, oh, maybe this
Oh,
time
and
since
that's
the range is
invisible
so
to the
slow.
caster.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. It's gonna be outside of 9 for sure.
Yeah. So just be prepared for that.
Yep.
That being said, that ain't bad.
At first, I thought you were saying you had to pick something within range to teleport also within range, and I'm like, well, then maybe you could teleport it into combat or something like that. Maybe that's the whole point of it. But no.
It is within range to within range. Yeah.
Oh, it is?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Pick one friendly source and then. Not a monster. It is not a monster that is visible to the caster. Remove that unit from the battlefield and set it up again. Wholly within range.
Yep.
I don't think it is.
Oh, okay. So you pick a thing that's visible to the
Yeah,
caster,
and then you
set it up
teleport it
within
within
range. Got it.
within 9. Yeah.
All right. I guess I'm getting confused because that's the exact wording in the Slaves to Darkness book for the Zinch spell,
Mm-hmm.
and then it got FAQ'd to be within range, outside of 9.
Oh, so I mean, maybe it's gonna get FAQ to be that as well.
Yeah. So maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Because I don't think I don't know. It doesn't read that to me right now, right?
Yeah, now that you mention it, you're right.
Okay.
I just imagined the first within range, I guess.
Oh, I mean, it's so easy to do with these things.
Yeah.
That's why I miss stuff all the time in these kinds of things, because I just always assume that it's going to be one thing.
Yeah. So it just
My
seems
brain
like a
just
good
gave me a
recall
nudge
spell.
of like, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah. But it's like the opposite of what the Starborn are doing, where they're like sending a guy out.
Right.
Like you're just pulling a guy back.
Yep.
Which is valuable in of itself too.
Defend me, Squire.
Yeah. And I guess it can like still make a move and stuff after all that, which is cool. But
Wait, it can make a move. Is this gonna get like so FAQ'd? It's gonna be insane.
yeah, probably.
Okay. So what this is actually gonna say is, outside of 9 of any enemy units, it cannot make a move in the following movement phase.
Yep.
Who forgot it again?
Like it's just the point. Like these should just be core rules. And maybe they
Yeah.
designed it with the assumption they were.
Maybe. You know, it should be a core rule, and when you want it to explicitly do something else, you say, except it can, and then it's very clear.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
That would make everything a lot better for these.
Yep. I agree.
Yep.
Overall, though, how are you feeling about the spells? They're pretty fine.
Yeah, they're fine.
Yeah, and there's nothing here that's like, oh, bro. To me.
Yeah, I wasn't blown away by anything.
Yeah, the earth trembles might be the closest thing to that, because I could just be totally wrong about that.
Yeah, it could just be like, oh, you can just zip this any which way and just do tons of damage.
Yeah, but this is also that one thing, too, where like somebody's like, oh, this thing rules, it's insane. And then they actually play it, and then they change their mind, too, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So I'm almost expecting a comment being like, guys, like, you're underestimating the value of this.
Yep.
And there's like a 50% chance that amounts to anything.
Yep.
So, cute stuff. Let's see what the Saurus get. So, whatever of Kotek, or Chotek, Sighted Chotek is a spell, casting value 7, range of 12, pick a Seraphon model, wholly within range invisible. Roll a number of dice equal to the number of wounds allocated to it, each 5 up, heal it by 1. That's a good way to keep your monsters healthy.
Yep.
I like that than better fighting on top bracket, to be honest. Let's see.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Because it helps you get back to top bracket.
Yep. Heavenly Frenzy is a spell that has a range. Casting value 7, range of 18. Pick one Seraphon unit wholly within range. Till the end of that turn, that unit can run and charge. Perfect.
Yep, that's pretty good.
Yep. Tide of Serpents. Casting value 7, range of 15. Pick an enemy unit within range and roll invisible to caster. Roll a number of dice equal to the number of models in that unit. For each 5 up, that unit suffers 1 mortal wound. So, it's like that Starborn AoE clear. But it's 15-inch range instead of 24, which is a pretty big deal.
Oh, and you can't switch into it, right?
Correct.
Because it's not a salon one.
Yep.
Was the other one a salon one for? Now that I think about it,
What's that?
was the Horde Clearance Starborn salon
Yes.
spell? Okay. Yeah. So that's this one's way worse for multiple reasons.
Yep.
Yeah.
One reason on the scroll, one reason off the scroll.
Yep.
So, still, like, I don't know. Like, to me, like, that seems like a reasonable spell still.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Salon one is just very good.
Right.
So it's like, this one's worse, but, like, it's not like, that one's the good one, this one's the bad one. It's like, this one's the good one, that one's the great one.
that is very fair.
Yep. Overall, though, like, I think you just want Heavenly Frenzy. Like, in every coalesce list. Just get some guy right there. Oh, wow, okay, cool. So this doesn't have the allegiance abilities for the sub-factions. But I do know them off the top of my head.
Okay, well, that's great.
So, I forget what the names of the factions are. There's Thunder Lizards, and then there's the one that's not Thunder Lizards. So,
okay, great.
Thunder Lizards is you can do 2 monstrous actions with each monster. That's fine.
That's freaking sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, so you get your Uh,
Your roar and your fight last, yeah.
yeah. See, there you go. We
Yeah,
did it.
and like I like that. But part of me
Mm-hmm.
thinks that you're just gonna run out of reasonable monstrous actions if you have a pure monster list.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't hate that either, to be honest.
Yeah, like if you can get off like 7 monstrous actions or something a turn, like you're doing okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other one is Saurus and Croxagores get +1 to wound on the charge.
That seems good if they're good.
Yep. And I can think of a couple Saurus that I really like.
Okay.
Yeah, so
But
I
they
think
but they hit different things, which is good too. So it's not like overlap. It's
yeah, I
like those are
agree.
different armies, right?
Yep. Yeah, I think which is great because I remember both of the Coalesced and the Starborn last book. There's just like an obvious winner in both of them.
Yep.
Now there's much less so, which I really like. So
Yeah, I like when they give things different roles. Like even if there's like one that's probably going to be picked most of the time, like at least like there's a reason to run the other,
yeah,
right? Not just like, oops, I math hammered it.
and I think there's a fair compromise too because I think you can go too far like they did with Nighthawk, and it's like this one unit type gets benefits, and it just like crazily incentivizes spamming.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, so this
They,
is a good
they did
balance.
it better here, I think. I think the
Oh yeah,
Nighthawk one was too far for sure.
yep, I agree. All right, overall, I have a feeling that you like the Coalesced a little bit more.
I generally like running monsters better.
I think just the -1 damage is just so hard to
You know, I'll be
ignore.
honest, I even forgot about that -1 damage and was still wanting to run this,
Yeah,
probably. So, yeah, for sure.
it's just yeah, like I think they're
Then again,
both
like, there's a fun list to be had with Starborn, though, I think, too. So, like,
like you can see it come together, right?
yeah, oh, definitely.
Like you don't
Yeah,
have like all of the pieces in your head right away. It doesn't just build itself, but like you can see the kind of things you want. And I think this
yeah,
book's deep enough and well designed enough that you're gonna see like pros and cons to different things in the book too,
right.
which is great. Or like
Yep,
even with like the same sub faction, you're like, okay, why do I want this or do I want this, right?
right. Yep.
Let's talk about War Scrolls now. Get this road on the show, you know. So Lord Croak is wildly similar to what he used to be. The 18 wounds, he full heals or he dies based on like how much damage he took each phase.
hmm
Uh, I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we can go over it for the viewers if they're not, I
Yeah, that
guess.
makes sense. Okay. So the end of each phase, you roll 3 dice, and if it's less than or equal to the amount of damage he took that turn, he's dead. Otherwise, he full heals. Um,
Now, can you kill him outright if you just do 18 damage? That just kills him, right?
it doesn't kill him, but then you make the roll, and then he auto fails the roll.
Okay, so he will survive no matter what. Like, no
Yes,
matter how much damage you do, you cannot one-shot him.
I'm almost certain. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
Oh wait. Yeah, actually no. He's immediately slain, and no dice rolls made. Okay, so you're right. Yeah, if you do kill him, you kill him.
You kill him, you kill him. Okay.
Yeah, if you do 18 damage to him.
I mean, that's a lot, so it's unlikely.
Yeah. And you also have a bodyguard unit in this book.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
So he's fine.
Yeah. Did they have a bodyguard before? Or is that
Yes.
new? They did, okay.
They did, yeah. So that's fine. He's got like a melee attack that's just like based on the amount of enemy unit or what is it? So the attack characteristic of this cannot be modified. Each time this unit attacks with its Azurite Force Barrier, roll 1 dice for each enemy model within range. Roll 5 for each monster. On a 5 up, it's a mortal wound.
Mm.
I kind of like that for an attack. It seems pretty
Yeah.
quick. Like, you just throw some dice, bam. Let's see. When this wizard attempts to cast Arcane Vassal, this is the rule. So, the casting roll, you can pick one friendly skink wizard within 12 inches or one oracle anywhere on the battlefield. If you do so, and the spell is successfully cast and not unbound, You must measure the range invisibility for that spell from that skink, oracle, or wizard. So you cast the spell, you pick a guy, that's the range.
And you can pick him, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so he can do it from himself or other units, yeah.
I mean, that's really sweet.
Yeah. I like it.
Is that new for him?
Nope.
Or is that existing? Okay.
That's
I thought I remembered that being a thing, but I couldn't remember.
Yeah. I think everything else, there's some like little wording changes, but he's mostly the same as what he was.
Mhm.
Like that Azurite barrier's a little different. He gets adds 2 to casting. You get some command points. And I sent you the points. I think he's still expensive.
You did send me the points.
Yeah.
The problem is I then forgot to send them to myself again and only have them on my phone.
Got it.
And my phone is my camera.
He's 395 points.
Okay. You know what? I'm going to figure out how to pull this up so that I can help.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay if you can't. I have him here, but what are his 2 spells? Oh, he can dish out Strike Last, actually, too. Start of the combat phase, you pick one enemy unit within 12, and roll 2d6. If the roll is greater than their bravery, you give them Strike Last. Pretty good. And then he has a unique spell that's casting value 7, range of 12. And you can cast the spell multiple times in your hero phase. Each time the spell is successfully cast, pick up to 3 different enemy units within range invisible to the caster. Each of those units suffers D3 mortal wounds. So, with his 4 spells, you can just pelt things with D3 mortal wounds.
So you use him to pelt things with mortal wounds, and then use the comet to pelt things with mortal wounds.
Yep.
And then use the. I can see where the Starborn list is just gonna absolutely just dish out so many mortal wounds per turn.
Yep. And it's all spell damage.
Yep. Well, except for some of it isn't anything and just goes through.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess more importantly, it's all stuff that you can't use your Night Hunt or your OBR 5-up ward commands to protect from.
Right.
Yeah, so Croak, I think he's going to be good. I don't think he's an auto-take. He's a War Master, too, if that matters. Oh, and he's a Lore Master, too. He knows all the spells from the lore of the ancient domains if he's coalesced, and all the celestial domains if he's Starborn. So that's cool.
I mean, I would want to run him.
Yeah. Sweet model. Like that's
Yeah.
pretty powerful
yeah,
stuff
like one of the,
he does. Yeah.
It's honestly one of my favorite models.
Yeah. I think he's good, though.
395 is a lot, but like not out of the realm of possibility, for sure.
Yeah, the way I see it, he's a forecast War Master. He knows all the lore spells. Yep. And if you don't want them, you can just like his worst case scenario, you're hitting like 3 units for 4d3 mortals.
Yeah.
And then he's like impossible to kill.
Right.
Like I don't know, he seems fine to me.
Yeah, he really does. I mean, maybe there's something better. That's possible. Like, yeah. I wonder if in the old book that's what he suffered from it was just something better to do.
Yeah, and I think it was just like Slon got all these cast bonuses that he didn't get.
But, oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Slon now. See what he's all about. So he's 275 points, I believe.
I have it up. I can do it. Yes.
Yep, okay. 9 wounds, 4-up save, 3 cast wizard, fly. And they can measure the range from oracles or wizards. Yeah. Let's see. Add 1 to casting, dispelling, unbinding. Oh, and both him and Croak can dispel from anywhere on the board.
That's a big deal,
it's
actually,
massive.
for the Starborn's ability, too.
Yeah. It is absolutely massive. Yeah. Let's see. They both get you some extra command points. Croak gets you more of them. Gift from the Heavens. You can use this command ability in your hero phase. Can only be used can only be issued by this unit, and the thing that receives it must be a friendly Seraphon. Until your next hero phase, that unit can fly. In addition, add 1 to save rolls for attacks made with missile weapons that target that unit. So, like, giving something fly, super good.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. What are 2 spells? You got Celestial Equilibrium. Casting value 6. Until the end of that phase, add 1 to the casting rolls for friendly wizards other than the caster. So, interestingly, it says other wizards, not other Seraphon wizards.
Oh, see, that's one of those little things.
Mm-hmm.
So how does that get abused?
I'm not sure yet. That's something like
But
Order
it,
players
but it
will
will.
rub their books. There might be
Yep.
something real cool in Stormcast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then the other one, Shield of the Old Ones, casting value 7. And then he gets a 4-up ward to Mortal Wounds. It's a pretty, like, mediocre
Yeah,
spells.
those are. So that's interesting actually, because that makes me more likely to want to take the gets 2 spells extra from the thing, because like those were very mediocre.
Yeah.
One of them literally does nothing if you're not casting again.
Yep.
And
And one of them is
the other is, yeah, one of them is very niche.
Yeah. That's actually a good point. Maybe you do take the 2 extra lores.
Yeah, I was thinking it's like, oh, he has 2 of his own spells. Like, I mean, one of them's gonna be like one I want to always cast, so you know. And then you got Mystic Shield or whatever, and like,
Yeah.
why would I want? Now I'm like, I don't think I got one I always want to cast here.
No. They're both very situational. But honestly, like,
Exceptionally.
275 points for a 9 wound, 3 spell caster with a +1. With like infinite range to cast it unbind, basically.
Yeah.
And then gives things flying. That's great.
Yeah. Just mediocre own spells, but
yeah.
like the spells that you can use otherwise are really good, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, let's see. Sora's old one on Carnosaur. This guy's 285, 15 wounds, 4-up save. Move 10, that brackets. He's got a shitty shooting weapon. The guy in the back has 5 attacks, 3s, -1, 2. Clawed floor limbs. Hit on a 3, and it brackets. 2 attacks with a 2 damage. But the real power is the massive jaws with 3 attacks. 4's 3s, -2, 5.
2.
And there's ways to give it +1, +2 attacks.
Yep, we saw that.
Yeah, there. And I think some of them stack too.
Now, is this way more damage than it used to do?
Yes.
Okay. I kind of figured it had to be.
It's pretty similar to the Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon. It's 285 points, 1 less save, 1 less wound, no spells. But the damage is pretty similar. It can't fly natively. But yeah.
Not natively, but you got the slot for that, right?
Yeah. And if it kills a model, it gets +1 to wound for the rest of the battle. Enemy units within 3 inches can't Inspiring Presence. And it can double issue a command once per turn? Once per... In the same phase. If it does, though, each enemy command must be received by a friendly Seraphon player. No command point. Oh, each phase he can issue 2, and the second one is free. Okay.
Dude, this dude rules.
Yeah,
Doesn't
for
he?
285?
Yeah, right? Like, what?
Fucking
Hello.
awesome. Yeah. And, like, we
Dude,
saw,
that's
like,
crazy.
a lot of stuff that, like, in the command traits where, like, all of these are really good. Like, double move on this, that's move 20.
It's pretty
Like,
good.
+1 attack, +1 save. Like, okay. -1 damage because you're coalesced, too.
Oh my god, yeah. Like, I was like, well, he's, like, kind of not the most survivable thing, because, you know, 4-up save, 15 wounds. But I was already like, that's probably good enough. And then it's like, oh yeah, and also -1 damage.
This feels like a pure coalesced
Okay.
unit to me, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like, I think it's a hard ask in Starborn, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's like, that's not what that army is, right?
Yeah. I like them, though. Like he's just, I'm
Oh
gonna
yeah.
run him up the table and I'm gonna break your toys. And I'm gonna like
And
doing
you're
it.
not gonna break mine either.
Yep. All right. Let's see.
Oh, he's a winner.
Yeah.
There we go. I'm running
Source Old
coalesce.
Blood
We're doing it.
and Astrolith Bear. So, interestingly enough, the Source guys, they're like 6 and 7 wounds. So they're like a little hardier on the wound count. The Old Blood is a 3-up. He has the fight in tandem thing, and when he issues all-out attack, you also add 1 to wound rolls if it's targeting a Source Warriors or Source Guard. Like that's fun. It's kind of similar to like what the Gloomspite Gits are doing.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just trying to catch up a little here.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah.
Figure, like, really analyze it.
Yeah. 135 points for what he does. And he's just a nice little stocky support hero.
Yeah. Seems fine.
Yeah. I'm not in love with him, but like
Yeah.
he's gonna do something.
Yeah.
And you notice there with those mighty jaws is each time this unit fights, after all of its attacks have been resolved, pick one enemy unit within 1 inch of that unit and roll 3 dice. The dice are referred to as bites. For each 6-up, it's a mortal wound. So the units are 1, and then the heroes are like more. So he's 3.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. And then coalesced, you add 1 to that. And if they're near the temple, it's add 2. So it's up to 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the fact that he like rolls 3 is kind of a big difference there too.
Yeah.
So you could actually get a lot of like if you're near your temple, you can get a lot of extra potential damage out of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay. All right. I see it. I see it.
Yeah. It's like fine, you know?
Yeah.
Let's see. An Astrolith Bear. You're going to want one of these, at least in every Starborn list. Maybe every army, I think.
Why is that, Alex?
I believe he's 130 points. And he's got the 12-inch aura of 6-up ward. And the 12-inch aura of within for plus 6 inches to the range of spells.
Oh, this guy, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely, yeah.
And then he's got
It's interesting that he's not a wizard himself, though.
I'm glad, but yeah, it is interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's like a sacrifice to taking him, but I don't know, like...
Now, is there a skink astrolith bearer as well?
Nope, I don't think so.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird, actually.
Yeah, I guess that, like, in Starborn, he's not taking command traits. Or relics
Right?
or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's like
That's actually a little weird.
Yeah. But it's hard to not run that thing, though.
Right, yeah, no, I agree.
But he just
But it's like not in the spot I expected him to be, I guess.
Yeah.
When we were talking about it, right?
You just thought he was going to be a skink, not a Saurus.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I looked up, it's like, wait a second, that's not what that's supposed to be.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure 130 is correct. What are you? Saurus, Astrolith Bear. Oh, man. Yeah, 140.
Sorry, I looked at
okay.
it. 140. Okay, so a little bit more too.
Yeah, but I like
I
it.
think you run one of them.
Just one, right?
Yeah, I think just one, because I think he doesn't do enough else.
Nope. Because I'm sure the ranges don't stack. Like, you're not adding 12. And even then, that's probably excessive.
Yeah.
On your infinite and 30-inch range spells. Or 24, my bad. Yeah, he makes them 30.
Yeah, it says of any friendly units with this ability.
Yeah. You just run one, but one's always good. And he's one of the cool new sculpts, too. Like, I like that one a lot. So, good.
Good, but not as good as I was thinking it was.
Yeah.
But maybe, like, still required, but, like, he literally only does that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he makes your Starborn, one of your abilities, just work at all.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like a very powerful synergy piece, but there's like a lot of awkwardness to him that you were mentioning, which is true.
Yeah, that's kind of what it is, yeah.
Let's see. Saurus Scar Veteran. So this guy is much cheaper, but he doesn't have like the double issues, and the guy in the back is doesn't have the shooting attack, which is fine. What he does have though is Maim and Tear, and he's 255 points instead of 285. So instead of the double issue of commands, he has Maim and Tear, which is at the end of the combat phase, you can pick one enemy unit within 1 inch of this unit and roll a number of dice equal to the number of wounds allocated to that enemy unit. For each 5-up, that unit suffers 1 mortal wound. So
Oh, so he's good at like finishing a guy off.
yeah. So like,
So when does the reach 5 up?
yeah.
So if he's at if the enemy unit has taken 3/4 damage, you'll on average kill it?
Yes.
Is that what that works out to be?
Sounds like it, right?
I think so. And you could certainly do it with less, but it's almost like exponential, like how much better it gets with each.
Yeah.
How much more likely it is to kill the opponent with each damage you do to it.
And the way I'm interpreting it is if you're fighting a bunch of guys with like 2 wounds and you kill 5 of them, you still roll 10 dice, right?
That I don't know, actually.
Yeah. Like it definitely
Is
needs an
that true?
FAQ.
Yeah. Because I was actually thinking it wasn't that, and you had to hit something big.
Yeah.
But then again, I'm certainly not as up on how to interpret that.
Yeah, like I don't know. This one is like there's debates either way, right? Because the way you read it is like pick one enemy unit within 1 inch, roll a number of dice equal to the number of wounds allocated to that enemy unit. So if the model's dead, it's not allocated to it anymore, right? Is that what your interpretation was?
That was my interpretation, yes.
Yeah. But like
I'm not sure if that's true though.
yeah, like it's a little cryptic. But like
Yeah.
at the same time, that totally changes my evaluation on this guy.
Right. It was seeming like it was like I'm going after a monster, and this is how I finish off said monster. That's what I was envisioning he was doing.
Yeah. And like I don't know because like there's also the interpretation of allocating, as in how much damage was dealt to a unit this turn.
Yeah, but it says number of wounds allocated to that enemy. Yeah, it doesn't say though this like how many were allocated this turn. It says how many are allocated.
Period.
And it's after at the end of the combat phase, so it's already occurred, right?
Yeah,
So I
fair.
think it's wounds that are damage that's currently on the unit. I think.
Yeah, that one's it definitely needs an FAQ, but like
Yeah.
I see your point. But like the fact of the matter is like we had 2 very different interpretations right off the bat, right? And I think I'm leaning towards yours being correct. But that's not how I read it at first either.
Right.
So, is it a deal breaker if it works one way or the other, you think?
I think it's more focused on monsters.
Yeah.
If it's the way I was thinking.
Yeah, if it's the way I
That's all
first
it is.
read it, it's insane, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, I think your way is the better way to interpret it. And then it gives the role of like the command monster or like the monster hunter monster.
Yep.
Rather than just like this thing does a bunch of damage and is cheaper, so I'm gonna run it. If they rule it just equal to the amount of damage dealt to that unit. So
Yeah.
I hope it's your way. Let me put it that way.
Yeah, because then it's more role based, right?
Yep. And then the Croxagore. So the War Spawn are 185 for 3. The other ones are 175. Oh man, these ones they're a little weird. So they need a skink unit to issue commands to them. They can't issue commands to themselves.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yep. Because they're like I guess in the old world, they were like a unit upgrade to skinks. And they're just like kind of playing off that. Which I don't see why they should, but that's annoying.
I think it's like that's one of the rules that feels like to me that it's like trying to like do something for fluff reasons. That's not actually like good game design.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, like one of those things. Yeah.
Yeah. And let's see. So the regular Kroxigor are 4 attacks. Um, 4 attacks, 4s, 3s, minus 1, 2 damage. And then the unit leader, or not the unit leader, but 1 in 3 gets to have a special weapon that's an additional damage and an additional to hit. And the War Spawn are 3 attacks. 4s, 3s, minus 2, 2. With the 1 and 3 being 3s to hit and 3 damage. So they're 1 less attack, but 1 more rend. But the War Spawn, if a skink unit dies within 12 inches of them, you add 1 to the attack characteristics.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
You said if a skink unit dies?
Yep.
Huh.
Yeah, so it's like, would you take the regular Kroxigor to, how do I put it? Yeah, if you take the regular Kroxigor, you just have the 4 attacks always.
Right.
Oh, and also the regular Kroxigor have exploding 6s when they're fighting a thing with 10 or more models. Why didn't it just make it exploding 6s and period is beyond me.
Well, sweeping blows, obviously, Alex.
Yeah. It's just annoying to me, but whatever.
Yeah, agree. I feel like you can math hammer these.
Yeah, my gut is just like one of them is going to be better.
Yeah,
Strictly.
they kind of tried, but like exploding 6s on a unit of 10 or more, like,
Who gives a shit, right?
and yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, that's like such not a great ability too. It's like it's fine.
Yeah, but it's not like that's not exciting.
Yeah. And I think it's the War Spawn for just 10 points. And then you take the other ones if you need the 10 points or like whatever. And they're both kind of lukewarm to me.
Yeah. I mean, how many points again were they?
War Spawn's 185, regular's 175. For 3.
For 3?
Yeah.
They're kind of squishy.
Don't forget -1 damage in the Coalesced.
Oh, that's not just monsters?
Nope.
It's everything? Literally everything?
It's Saurus, monsters, and Kroxigor.
Holy crap.
Yep.
Okay, they're not that squishy.
Yeah.
That's so wild.
I think a comparison that's fair though is Rat Ogres from Skaven.
Mm-hmm.
Who are for 125 points for 3 of them with 6 wounds.
Mm-hmm.
4 attacks, 3s, 3s, -1, 2 damage, just exploding 6s.
So what it feels like is they're probably fine and they probably put the correct math on it.
Yeah, it's just like I don't know, like Rat Ogres to me just seem like completely better than these, and they're cheaper.
Oh, that's fair, yeah.
By like 50 points. And they can like be resurrected.
But these guys can have the -1 damage.
Yeah.
But also can't have commands issued to them except by skinks.
Yeah.
Now,
I
is
guess
that
unit
any
champions
skink
of
unit?
skinks can issue commands to this unit. It's wholly within 12 of the skink unit. So I guess generals and heroes can still issue to them. It's just skinks can also issue to them.
Oh, that's way better.
Actually, now
Okay.
that I read it.
Okay. That's just like a little tacked on thing. It's like, oh, look what I can do this one time where it's relevant.
Yeah.
Okay. That's better.
That is better. Okay. I misread it.
Okay, cool. Good.
Yeah.
Good even. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're not super exciting, but they're okay.
I think they're a little too expensive. Another thing, too, is their battle line in that one coalesced army that gets the +1 to wound on the charge.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think my honest answer is like they're a little much for what they do.
Yeah, I think they are.
Yeah, they're like a
Maybe they're
150 point unit to me
Yeah.
in my mind. But maybe in coalesce, like the -1 damage just makes them.
Yeah, maybe that -1 damage is enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. It really could be, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. So, but again, I always like the conservative approach and then dropping points later, rather than
Yeah.
like, the aggressively cheap thing that you have to fix later.
Right. That's just like ruining a tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the way to do it. They're okay.
Yeah.
Great models though, aren't they?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yes, I definitely think so.
The war bands, I'm not gonna read. They're probably if there's something there, let us know. Oh, look at you already got them done.
Yeah, look at that.
That's awesome.
It didn't come out too bad.
Yeah,
I'm actually like pretty proud of the fading I did there on the feathers.
yeah.
Came out pretty okay.
I think it's great.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's another war band. I'm gonna skip war bands. If you want them, there's probably some tech there. I feel like you have to be very familiar with the army to pick them up.
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah. I think this is a unit you're really gonna like.
All right.
The Agrodon, and then it's Chieftain. So the Scar Veteran Agrodon, and we'll go over the Lancers, and then we'll go over the hero. So the Lancers, they have a club or a spear on top. That's like Rend 1 or Rend 2, 1 damage. And then the mount is 3 attacks, 3's -2, 2. Great start.
Mm-hmm.
The champion adds 1 to its rider weapon. The standard bearer is add 1 to bravery. Musician is add 1 to run and charge.
Ooh.
Yep. And then primal rage. So it's a little annoying. So they have a rage ability that starts at 0. And at the end of each combat phase, if this unit was in at the end of each combat, if it's within 3 inches of an enemy unit, you increase its rage by 1 to a max of 3. And at the end of each combat phase, if it's not within 3, it simmers down to a 0. And you add a number of attacks equal to its rage character or modifier.
Oh wow.
So
Okay.
the longer they're in combat,
If a unit is not within 3 inches of any enemy units, reset its rage score to 0.
yeah,
End of each combat phase. Oh, so your opponent could like retreat from it to like reset its attacks, right?
Sometimes
Rage.
okay, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of like forcing them to like you deal with it right now, or it's gonna get progressively more powerful.
Yep. And yeah, so the chieftain. Oh, so these are 210 for 3 of them.
210 for 3, and that is a little expensive, but
yeah,
they do have the. I guess that's roughly what these kinds of units cost. 5 wounds each.
Mm-hmm. And then Scar Veteran on Agrodon is 175. They also have the Primal Rage, and then once per battle, they increase the rage of all Agrodons within 12 inches. Oh, within 18 inches by 1.
Oh, that's cool. So
game.
You could just like be like, have more damage right now.
Yep. And honestly,
so you could go like
8 wounds, 4 up save, -1 damage, 8 move.
Yeah.
And then the riders are 5 wounds? You said they're expensive, but you know what they kind of reminded me of? Necropolis Stalkers.
Yeah. No, I'm warming up. I'm warming up. Yeah.
Like, that's a lot of damage.
And no, it really is, actually.
And then there's that command trait where it's like the bubble of double move. They move 8.
Yeah, and also, like, I feel like with the hero, it's like, you get him into combat, your opponent doesn't retreat, so they have the 1 rage, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you, like... And then you just, like, buff it even more, like, right away. It was like, so it's like, your opponent's turn, like, they go... And then you just, like, absolutely maul something. But maybe there's still something left. I can see, like, a world where you can just, like, somehow just, like, all of a sudden get them to 3 rage, and they're just, like, just absolutely demolishing things.
Yeah. I would run, like, 2. Or a reinforced one in, like, at least every coalesced. I think.
Like, do you run 2 of the hero? To get that twice per game?
Maybe, yeah.
Can you use it? Can you use both of them at the same time? Can you, like, just, like, max it out randomly?
Once per battle at the start of your combat phase, you can pick 1 friendly unit with this ability. Okay, so no, you don't.
Okay.
From 2.
No, you can't. You can't just. Yeah, that is good to know. I still think. Yeah, I don't know. You still might like. This is interesting. I'd like to like play with it and like see like how these guys actually do in practice. But it's fun for me to like try to think about like how am I gonna best utilize these guys with the rage and everything?
Yeah, I like
That's
it.
interesting to me. Like, how does that actually play out in practice? I'm really curious.
It's like a little clunky, but like it's a
But like,
build
if you,
thing, you know?
it's like you almost want to like kill it on their turn so that you can then go like keep your rage and then go charge into something,
Yeah.
right? Oh wait, what's the thing that lets you charge on? Isn't there something that lets you charge on your opponent's turn, or is that Starborn?
That was a Starborn thing, and we're not even sure
Ah,
that's how it
damn.
works. Because it was cut
Okay.
off for us, remember?
Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. We are assuming it did that. We don't even know for sure.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay. Okay. Never mind then.
I don't know. It's just like heavy cavalry like this is always fun. And like
Yeah.
just like you have double move tech in this book. And like you can double all out attack with your Carnosaur too.
Yep.
It's I don't know. I see value.
Yep.
I really like these.
I think they'd be very fun to play with.
Yeah.
Now, are these guys new?
Yep, they're a new kit.
Okay. Okay.
Saurus Knights are dead. And these are in.
Okay.
I'm just wondering if they're like a conditional battle line. Oh, if your general is a Saurus, they're a battle line.
Oh.
So a very easy condition.
Yeah. So these guys you're running probably with mostly with the Saurus subfaction,
Coalesce.
right?
Yeah.
Well, definitely Coalesce, but with also with the Saurus subfaction they're in, right?
Yep, I agree. With the +1 to wound on the charge.
Yeah.
Oh, and then +1 to hit. Oh, okay. So they're 2s, Ren 2 damage.
Yeah, okay.
Great.
These yeah, and like potentially like lots more attacks too.
Yep.
Yep.
Alright, next page is the Saurus Warriors and Saurus Guard. I just want to look at these pictures side by side. Real quick. Are you seeing these? Or not yet?
Not yet. Hang on.
Alright, it's just like one is like a sculpt that's brand new, and one is like a sculpt that was probably older than me at this point.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
Yep.
It is so funny to me. That they
Yep.
didn't redo both.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. Alright, let's
Do they
talk
do-
about them.
Yeah.
So, Saurus Warriors are 200 for 10. 2 wounds, 4 up save. And they got the jaws. And you add 1 to the save if they're contesting an objective or wholly within your territory.
+1 to save if they're testing objective.
Yeah.
So contesting objective, so they get +1 to save when you want them to have +1 to save.
Yeah, and also wholly in your territory.
Oh.
It makes them resilient to shooting.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
that's
again,
cool. Okay.
Yeah.
How's the damage look?
2 attacks. 3's -1/1, or 4's 3's with a better range. So that's what I was saying earlier. Like I brought up the Chaos Warrior example.
Yeah.
Is like bringing up D3 Chaos Warrior is good because these are like
Yeah, those are very, very similar.
yeah. Obviously not as good as like Nurgle ones, unless you didn't count -1 damage, and then maybe as good.
Yeah, no, for real though.
Like these just seem very good at parking their ass on an objective
Yeah.
and holding the line.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with you.
Yeah, and 200 for 10. I don't know. I think it sounds steep, but I really don't think it's that steep. For
No, that's super standard for these guys.
yeah,
These kinds of like the 10 models, 2 wounds, 200 points.
with a good save.
With with a 3 or 4 up save. Yeah, like the what is it? I mean the Chaos Warriors obviously have it. I think all of the special like what's the one in Born? Why can't I think of their name right now?
Blood Warriors?
Yeah, Blood Warriors. Yep, they're
Yeah.
basically the same. They're like what 190, I think.
Mm-hmm. And I guess like the question too is like obviously I think they're much weaker on the surface in Starborn. But for 5
Yep.
points you bring D3 of them back. Maybe not.
Right. Yeah, right? Like maybe not.
Yeah, I think these are a solid. They're not gonna win the game by themselves, but like,
Yeah, but they're a pretty good anvil, right?
yeah,
To just
exactly.
like tie something up for a while.
Yeah,
Like
I
they go up
really
to the
like
middle,
these.
but you get a reinforced unit of this, and you put it in the middle, and you bring some units back, and
Yeah,
like it all seems fine, right?
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And then Saurus Guard are 135 for 2, and they just have Bodyguard on a 3-up.
Wait, no, no, don't tell me you need to run these to get the bodyguard.
Yep.
Oh no.
But I think you do a kit bash with the new kit with a hat and a bigger shield.
Yeah, absolutely you
But
do.
yeah.
Come
Also, this
on.
is the annoying bodyguard where you can take a ward save after because they don't write the
Oh.
rule consistently. And like, I don't know. It bears repeating. Just make it a keyword.
Please. Like,
Yep.
yes, we understand why you got rid of keywords, but some amount of keywords when you're writing the rule every time, but you're always doing it differently, is good.
Yeah. Because prime example. So I can't believe we're 2 years into this game. More than that right now, right?
Yeah.
And we're still like figuring out this problem.
You know what I feel like they should do? Do the magic way. When you have space on the war scroll, you write the keyword, and then you put the entire italicized text, here's what it does.
Yep.
When you don't have room, you just put bodyguard.
Yeah.
And there you go. You're
Perfect.
done. Easy.
Stupid. Yeah. Overall, though, good unit. Kit basher,
Yep.
though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right. And then this priests, I think we're almost done. We'll try to rifle through some of these because I'm at a point where I have to wait for these to dry. You're done with your guy. It's getting
Yeah.
late. Okay.
Priest.
Starseer,
Woo!
150 points, 2 cast wizard. Once per battle, it will scry. And for each 2-up, you can pick one Seraphon unit on the battlefield. That unit has a 5-up board until the start of your next hero phase. And then a spell, range of 12, casting value 7, shuts off a ward for a unit. 150 points. Good unit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about it. It's just like, it seems like a tech piece, but it's a 2-cast wizard. So like Mystic Shield and a lore spell, that's fine.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Skink Star Priest, I believe they're like 120.
I can check.
Yeah. Okay, you'll check. So 5 wounds. They got 1 spell. You pick a Seraphon unit wholly within 12.
130.
130? Okay. If you do so until your next hero phase, the unmodified wound roll for an attack made that unit as a 6, it causes 1 mortal wound to the target in addition. So you put a buff on somebody to do mortal wounds on 6s. And casting value 8 or 6, range 18. Pick an enemy unit and they get -1 to hit with attacks. That's fine. I think volume of attacks with skinks, the mortal wound thing is going to matter a lot, and it's fine on some other units too. But he's your support if you want to run a ton of skinks, I think.
Yeah.
All right, Oracle on Troglodon. So he's an Oracle, so Slon can cast through him anywhere on the table. He himself is also a 1-cast wizard. He also shuts off Inspiring Presence. He has a 9-inch aura of -1 to hit. The start of the hero phase, you can heal up to D3 wounds allocated to this unit. Unmodified attack made with this unit's spittle is a 6. It does 2 mortal wounds. The attack sequence ends. Actually, it's equal to the damage characteristic, which is 2, so that can be modified.
Oh, okay, that's
And it's
interesting.
got like okay attacks. And then what's its spell? Casting value 7, range of
The range
12.
is actually pretty good in that.
Oh yeah,
Enough.
18. Yeah, that rules. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so range is 12, casting value 7. Pick an objective or terrain feature that is within range and visible to the caster. Until your next hero phase, units within 3 inches of that objective or terrain feature cannot run or retreat, must have the result of any charge rolls. Okay. That's a great spell.
Seems weird, though.
Yeah.
Because you're basically saying, here's units that are where they want to be, And they can't leave.
I guess terrain, not necessarily, but yeah.
Oh, is it also terrain?
Yeah.
Objective or terrain feature.
Okay. Yep.
So that changes it a little bit too.
It does. Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Um,
Hard to use, though.
275 for one of these.
275, you said?
Yeah.
Now, these guys probably don't have the -1, right?
Just
To
270.
damage, because you're
Oh, they're a monster.
probably... Oh, no, they're a monster, but you're not necessarily running these in...
Oh, they're in
Coalesce.
Starborn. Yeah.
Yeah,
You can cast
that's
your
more what I
slot through
meant.
it. You can teleport it in back line. You
Yeah.
can make it hard to kill. And then you can just have a big radius for mortal wounds from it in the back line, I think. For that 15-point
so.
ability. I like this guy, I think.
Is he good enough? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I mean, he is a caster, so...
Yeah. So I think you teleport him in, you Mystic Shield himself. And then you just do your Slan shenanigans from him. And then
Yeah.
next turn, Finest Hour him. And then they try to kill him with his 14 wounds with his +2 save, +3 if you alt defense, right? And
I mean,
then
yeah.
if it comes back to your turn, you do the 15-point thing and just do a bunch of mortal wounds to everything that charged him. Or you go second, you drop him in, hope for the double, and do that.
He's probably not bad. I don't know. The damage just looks a little junky. For that many points.
Yeah, the damage is a little junky. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give you
Because
that.
it's like there's too many like 4+ thrown in there. It's like
yeah.
It's only like one rend, and I mean, to be fair, the venomous jaws are pretty good. But
yeah.
I don't
just
know.
think the -1 to hit and then like the save stacking stuff you're able to do with him.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
in
maybe.
Starborn he's good. But I think he's a sacrificial
you just-
piece.
Oh, and at the start of the hero phase, you can heal. You can just heal him.
Yes.
Okay. Maybe he's more of like, I don't know. He's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know how to feel about him. He's kind of weird. He feels like he's trying to do a lot of different things.
Well, the thing I like about it too is like, if they turn around to hit them in the backfield to get them off the board, like 14 wounds, the +4 and the -1 to hit, or +3 save, -1 to hit. You need to put substantial things to move him.
It's true.
And then they're like going backwards instead of forward.
Yeah, but like you said, like 275, right?
Yeah.
So that's where the thing comes in. It's like yeah, but 275 points for it
And
for
an
doing
army that
that.
summons. And if they don't kill
that's
him,
true.
you just do a fuck ton of mortal wounds to their whole army. Because he's right in the middle of everything.
Oh, because he can measure the spells from there.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying for that?
Yeah, measure the spells, and then the coalesced 15-point thing, where it's everything in range on a 2 up that many mortal wounds, can come from him.
That's Starborn, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I must have said coalesced and didn't mean to, yeah.
Oh, I was just making sure. That's what
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, that's true.
I think he's
That's
good.
true. Yeah. He might even be like a linchpin. Like, but he might also just be not quite good enough. I don't know.
If it's that,
We'll have to see what
points,
happens.
Right.
What was that?
If he's not quite good enough, it's just points. I don't think it's a War Scroll issue.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Alright. Skinks, they're very cheap. And you roll 2
Okay,
dice instead of 1 and pick either result for redeploy. Great with that
That's kinda
subfaction
cool.
to redeploy.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's kind of neat.
Other than that, they're 85 points for 10 wounds at a 6-up save.
Great.
They hit on 5.
Their bodies.
Yep.
Their bodies.
They wound on 5s. Yep.
Dude, that's so terrible.
Yep. Spawn a Chotek. I think these guys are fairly cheap. They have some okay shooting.
Is this the same model as the new Salamander?
Well, the new salamanders don't exist anymore. They're spawn of Kochek or Chotek.
Oh, they totally changed that. Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
but
cool.
they're fire-spitting lizards.
They're the same thing. They're not.
Yeah,
Got it. Okay.
they're
Do
artillery.
they
They're-
even come with 3 skinks in their kit?
Yes,
Yeah. Okay.
they're the same thing but different name.
Yeah.
And yeah. And actually, they made it nice. So it's just 8 wounds, and then they all die together. So you're not like doing that weird rally trick anymore.
Oh, that's good.
Yep. Um,
Well, also kind of annoying that they added the crew at all, but
fair.
yeah.
Yeah. And then, yeah. So the stream of fire is just like a bunch of attacks, maximum of 10, equal to the number of models in the unit. And the glob of flame acid subtract 1 from save rolls, and that unit cannot be affected by this ability more than once. Okay. Like, it's fine. It's Ren 2 on everything. That's pretty good.
That is pretty good.
24-inch range of the glob attack. That's kind of cool. No mortal wounds
Like that-
anymore, though.
And how much does this guy cost?
125.
125. So he actually has that same, or even a better attack profile than that other guy for the fiery maw.
Yeah.
For a lot less points and other abilities. But
Yeah.
like way less survivable, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
I think
So
they're
that damage
good.
is probably
They're like a
pretty good,
support
yeah.
thing, right?
Yeah.
They're no longer like the most efficient shooting unit for 125 points for no reason anymore.
Yeah.
They got some neat tricks. A lot of rend on the shooting and the melee too, but
Yeah.
they're cool.
Honestly, not bad. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're right where they need to be. Raptidons. So they're 150. They're battle line in the redeploy subfaction. And some Starborn. So that's cool. They're also skinks. They have like pretty piddly attacks, but they're 150 for 5. And they're very fast. And then they have like a synergy. So like if the chargers charge, the shooters get to shoot at the end of the charge phase. And then if the shooters shot that unit, they get more damage with the chargers. But I think realistically you're taking these because they're very fast and very cheap.
Oh, I see the breakout now. Okay, I was confused
Yeah.
for a second there. Got it. Okay.
4s and 4s hurt, but Ren 2 is pretty good.
Right.
The damage is actually surprisingly good if you have a bunch of these Raptidon hunters.
You said 150 for 5
Yeah.
for both of them?
Yeah.
I guess I can look. Yeah, I should just do that. But yeah, okay.
Yeah, let's double check actually. Yep, both of them are 150 for 5.
Okay.
I just think their main values are pretty cheap and they're very fast. And the
Yeah,
damage
I think so.
isn't terrible. It'll do some chip, but it's not great. They're fine.
Damage is pretty bad.
Yeah. I guess these are damage 2 on the charge, which ain't bad.
Yeah, okay. I mean, yeah, that's where it's gonna be, right?
Yeah.
Can they retreat and charge for some reason?
No.
Okay.
Add 1 to run and charge. Okay.
Was there not a retreat and charge in Starborn somewhere?
I don't think there was.
Okay, I must be misremembering.
Yeah. They're good, though. The Hunters of Hanchi, I didn't read these thoroughly, but apparently the Bola ones are pretty good. And then the blowgun ones are, like, fine, but not great.
Mm.
We can keep them up on the screen a little bit. They're not visible to things that are more than 12 inches away. That's cute. They don't have any rend on their shooting. Oh, they can deep strike, it looks like. That's cool.
Oh, these are the war. Is this the
The Warcry, yeah.
Warcry Warband? Okay.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find them in the hunters. Okay, so the dart tippers are 135 for 5, and the bolas are 90 for 5. Okay, that makes sense. So these have a lot more range, and these are way cheaper, but you're bringing them for the deep strike, really.
Sure.
Yeah.
So that's kind of weird. I assume that's the same kit, right? Or
Yeah.
or do you get 10 of them and you can build 5 of each and they separate it into 2 different units? Is that what they did?
I don't know, actually.
Because that's weird that they have 2 for the same thing.
Yeah, it is. With
'Cause they
weapon
almost
options.
always are just like one thing. Yeah, maybe that's what they did. I don't know that unit though at all.
Yeah. Oh, and I guess there's mortal wounds on the blowgun guys too. Each hit of 6 is a mortal.
Mm.
So there's 10 shots, 3s. They're okay.
Yeah.
They're okay. Terror Wings are the really good ones because they're 75 points for 2. Might be 3. Oh, it is 3. Okay. And then if they beat your bravery on 2d6, you can't do commands.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. In the shooting phase, you pick something within 12. Great. Bastillodon's super interesting. So there's the gun for 285 and the not gun for 200, which is the snakes. The snakes have 20 attacks with each 6 is a mortal wound. And the gun is 3 shots, 3s, minus 3 damage. It just seems like the snake build is way better. It's also 12 wounds with a 2-up save, and it doesn't bracket anymore. And it's a monster.
Ooh. That's pretty sweet that it just keeps its 2-up save.
Yeah, and like especially with its monster's action, I think you take the melee ones every time at these point totals. Like you just charge that fucker in with 20 snakes, and then like the sweeping tail monster's action. And you're doing like so much mortal wounds. And then you're daring them to move your 2-up save minus 1 damage guy. And if he dies, it's 200 points.
Right?
Yeah, do you just run 4 of these? Go nuts.
That seems pretty efficient.
Like, the cannon's not even bad. You know? It's like, 3 shots is not a lot. But minus 3
No,
3, like, that's good.
Yeah, so what, like, on average, what, 1.5 of those is hitting?
Yeah.
Roughly.
Yeah,
So, what, like, I guess on average, what, like, you're probably gonna do 3 or 6 damage with it.
Yeah. Or you just spend almost 100 points less. And just do that in melee.
Yep.
Yeah, I think you take the Arcathotic every time right now. The points need to come back towards the middle on both of them, I think. Like, I think the Arcathotic is too cheap, and I think the gun is too expensive.
It's just funny seeing 20 attacks written down.
Yeah, it's almost backwards, don't you think?
Yeah, kinda. Like, I would have expected the solar engine profile, like, maybe another attack or 2, but in melee, and then, like, the stupid number of attacks, but, like, doing nothing in ranged.
Yeah.
Yeah, weird.
Alright.
Okay.
Good unit, though.
Yeah, 200 points for... Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it only moves 5, right? Like, that's pretty slow.
It's very slow, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe that has something to do with it.
Pterodon and Ripperdactyls, they're very cheap. And they're very fast, and they don't really do anything else. I guess Ripperdactyls do, like, little mortal wounds on things they move over. But there's, like, very few of them in the unit, so it's not a lot.
Yeah.
There's only, like, 3, and they're, like, 100-something. I don't think they're remarkable outside of that, and I think you just have better options.
Fair.
I don't want to deep dive into them. No, you have -1 to hit on shooting them. Yeah.
They're kind of fast. They can get somewhere.
Yep. I just think you're better off with Raptidons. That's annoying. I don't know what this is. Oh, Stegodon? Why is this sideways, man?
I haven't seen it yet, but I definitely don't know.
So my assessment of these are 300 for 1. They went up like 50 points and got a lot worse. But they're Battle Lion and Thunder Lizards.
And I got that the fight last.
Monsters action, yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like you have less ways to buff them. They have less of their horn attacks, I think. There's only 2 of them. I think there was more last time.
Were they a little too powerful?
Oh,
before?
definitely. Yeah. I think they're just
Okay.
overcorrected.
They might have been corrected to the right-ish spot.
Yeah.
It's always tough when something gets nerfed to be like, yeah, I think these are in a good spot now after, they were doing so much before.
Yeah. It's just... Yeah, you might be right. I just see Agrodons, and then I look at these, and it's like, okay. So, for 90 more points, I get 1 less wound. I get a lot less damage, and it's way slower. And it's like 1 good shot, or like a couple good shots with its melee or ranged,
Yeah. No, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Does a little bit of mortal wounds on the charge. They're probably still fine. They're not what they
It's
used
not
to
like
be.
super exciting.
Yeah.
Yep.
Engine of the Gods. So they used to have a thing where if you rolled an 18, you won the game. That's gone. So how it works?
That's
Yeah. So you get to like basically charge up. So how is it work? Let me see. In your shooting phase, you can say that any. It's so hard, man. I wish I could flip this. So either it would be harness or reserve. All right. So you get like a power, and you roll 2d6, and based on the roll, you do something. And if you roll too low, it backfires and does damage. But you can store the power over turns up to a maximum of 4d6. So turn 1 you forgo shooting, turn 2 you forgo shooting, turn 3 you do 4d6. Or like any combination thereof. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And one of the abilities is like on a 13 up you get to summon some Saurus warriors. There's like a mortal wound one. It's just like, I don't know. The way it reads, it's like you have to wait 2 whole turns, or yeah, you have to wait till turn 3 to have like a 60% chance on doing something relevant.
Not ideal.
Yeah. But like
But
the
it
thing
does
it
also
does
have...
is really good,
Yeah.
I hate that
But then
design.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, 60% of your games you're gonna win and 40% you're gonna lose based on if this does something.
And something to mention too is like this thing used to be a priest. There's no priest in Seraphon anymore, which that's good. You don't need priests and wizards in my opinion.
Yeah.
But that's still like a huge hit to like the power level of this thing.
Yeah, it didn't gain wizard or anything.
Yeah, it's no longer a leader.
No longer a leader, really.
Yeah, and it's 300 points.
Okay. So now, what does it do in Starborn again? Because it's one of the things, right?
An oracle?
Yeah.
No,
Right?
it's not.
I thought it specifically called out Engine of the Gods being like one of the things.
Oh, the celestial notes?
Yeah, Celestial Note.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
so you can summon or do the abilities from range of this thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's another thing to keep in mind when evaluating, I suppose.
I guess one thing I missed too on the Stegodons is they count as 10 on the objective instead of 5 because of the crew on the back.
Oh, that's interesting.
So that's kind of cute. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This table.
Does that go the same for the Salamander?
I don't think so, actually.
Okay.
Let's look. Get out of this sideways land.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying so hard to finish this on time.
Dude, I get it.
Yeah. They're treated as a single model, so they're going to count as 2 on the objective.
Okay.
For their 4 models, they count as 2.
All right, fair enough.
That's great and intuitive.
Yes.
But yeah. Engine of Gods are very good if you roll very well, and then they're terrible if you don't. So there's going to be games where they overperform and games where they underperform.
Yeah.
I wish they didn't design it like that, but
yeah.
If you like it, you like it. Yeah. Let's see. And that's it.
Okay. How about that?
You get Cities of Sigmar, Stormcast Eternals. So with the Slaawn, there might be a really cool ally where you plus 1 of the spells. But I think you're a very self-sufficient book outside of that, so it's fine.
Yeah.
I guess we missed Stegodon Chief in there somewhere. They're just the leader version of the Stegodon. That's fine.
They're probably the one, since we're skipping them, that are
Yes.
going to be like absolutely the most, they're going to have that one ability that's super
Hey man, I
overpowered.
didn't skip it. This Inger document skipped it.
Fair.
Yeah. But overall, what are your closing thoughts? Do you like this book?
It's very interesting how it's like two different armies.
I
Like
really
very
like
much
that.
two different
Yeah.
armies.
It
And like
doesn't-
the units you want to put in each are like pretty distinct too.
Yeah, I really like that distinction, honestly. And it feels like there's really good stuff. But every time you're like, oh, these two things are gonna really suck together, and then like, oh, they're not together. They're two different armies.
Yeah,
That's great.
I mean, that is kind of weird. That like, it's kind of like a newbie trap to some extent.
That's fair.
Being like, yeah, especially like when you're buying, it's like, oh, I like this and this, and it's like, oh, those go in two different armies, even though they say they're the same.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I don't like that about it too much, but like otherwise, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it beats the world where like they're doing both things hyper efficiently.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And it
have,
like really gives them the like, there's like two different armies to like play here as opposed to just like, oh, I math hammered out the best. Here we go.
yeah. I have a feeling there's going to be a very, very strong Smashy army in Coalesced.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a feeling there's going to be a very toxic, like very good in some matchups and very bad in others, Starborn that's just so many mortal wounds.
Yeah, it's like, look at all the mortal wounds I'm dealing.
Yeah.
Ha.
I'm honestly a little concerned by the amount of mortal wounds that can put out, but
You know
I
the
wanna
funny
see
thing
it
about
before
the
I
comet
judge
is
it.
like how swingy it is too.
yeah, that's fair too.
They can do literally one mortal wound, or like some stupid amount of mortal wounds.
Yep. It's just like, yeah, if you have Croak, you can do a bunch of sources of that. You can do the Salon Comet Call, the terrain
Yep.
piece, the spell
Yep.
payoff, like, whew.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
Yep. Absolutely.
But overall, like, this does seem like an engaging book. It doesn't seem like frustrating to play against so far.
Yeah.
There's very powerful stuff going on though.
Yep.
But I feel like some units were played pretty safely.
I think honestly, like the points were like adjusted for coalesced for like the units that are going to be there, right?
Yeah,
Kind of felt like that to me.
I agree. Like Agrodon Lancers are a little expensive for what they do, but when you take -1 damage, Saurus
Right.
Warriors too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, like honestly, I think it pushes Source Warriors from like they're okay to like, oh, they're actually like that
Very
makes them really
good.
solid type of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, that's it for tonight, I think. But overall, I'm very happy to see this. I'm excited to play against it.
So what books do we have left in third edition?
Cities
Is it
of
just
Sigmar,
cities?
Flesh Eater Court.
Oh, and Flesh Eater Courts. Yep.
Yep. Cities is in
So
the
do you-
summer. Flesh Eater Courts is probably in the winter.
Oh, you think they're gonna push it that far back?
Well, did you see the roadmap?
No, I didn't.
So summer, or yeah. Oh, I guess Cities is autumn actually. So summer we have this book. Technically is coming out separately, and then Dawnbringer, which is the first campaign book.
Okay.
In the fall we'll have 2 Dawnbringers and Cities of Sigmar as the campaign book, and then winter we have Dawnbringer and Mystery Book.
Mystery book.
Yep, with the death symbol in the background.
I see. So almost certainly Flesh Eater Courts, or they're doing something different. Like
Yeah.
I don't know.
My theory is it's the Flesh Eater Courts with an army box of new models like Slaves to Darkness.
Yeah, that would make sense.
That would be sweet.
So
too.
if they're starting the campaign books though, does that mean early next year is 4th edition?
I think it's still gonna be July. Because I forget.
Oh, July
exactly
of
the
next year?
reason. Yeah, July of next year. Yeah, and I think there's just like something to do with like quarterly profits are the highest in July.
Oh, so it just makes the most sense to put it out then.
Oh, what it is? It's they take yearly profits and evaluate the company on like August, so it makes sense to put them out in July to maximize that for the presentation, you know?
Fair enough.
Yeah. So July we'll be getting the new edition.
Yep, probably.
But yeah, I think I'm excited for the campaign books. I want to talk about those when they come out too.
Yeah.
But especially since we're gonna have to wait a long time for some of these Battletomes.
Well, see, I don't know. It annoys me how they like put out the Battletomes, but like the last Battletomes have such a short shelf life
Yeah, I agree.
compared to like new stuff, right? Like,
I think
bugs
it's
me.
so weird that they're putting out 3 campaign books before the last single army.
Right? Like that army gets like no time in the new edition. It feels like Astra Militarum in 40K. Like, right? How much time did they get? Like almost nothing.
They're gonna have 6 months, yeah.
Yeah, like that's it
Yeah,
for a book. Like, are you kidding me? That's such a short shelf life.
it really is.
Yeah, I don't like that design at all. That feels so bad.
Oh, I know.
Like Flesh Eater Courts just missed 3rd edition, right?
Yep.
Like this, yeah, they just missed it. And if they get the book at the end, like they're probably missing 4th edition too. Type of deal.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know.
Unless your daughter's
Feels
a
bad.
king.
Yeah. Yes. Correct.
Yeah. But like at the same
Anyway.
time too, like if they also like got their book early in 4th edition, how annoying is that?
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Like
Like there's no winning there.
no. You either don't get a 4th edition book forever, and it feels bad, or you get one too early and it feels bad because then like what was the point of printing the other one?
Yeah.
Right? Like yeah. I don't know. But
I guess we'll see, but I'm sure it'll be if it has like a bunch of models, then I get it. Because then like
oh sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes enough sense, yeah.
but if
I
it
don't know.
doesn't, it's very frustrating.
Yeah.
So I'm
I
just
feel
gonna
like
choose to be
I would-
hopeful.
Yeah. I would so prefer them to do like figure out how to attempt to do the books more together than they do. But I understand why not, and that they want to, push, it's like to avoid like the ups and downs of like sales spiking at one time or not. But
I just wonder if it's like a bad idea to be like 4 books come out, 1 for each Grand Alliance. Because there's probably not a ton of overlap.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of Destruction players don't play Death in Order, vice versa.
right. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it's just,
Yeah, I don't know.
and it's just like the way it's looking too. It's like, if you look at like OBR compared to Nurgle, they're very similar, and just one is like straight better too. Not by like a ton, but it's just like it's obvious. Like Nurgle's gonna struggle in that matchup so hard.
Yeah.
And it's just like that's a byproduct of like staggering these book releases. And they're just like balanced against the latest thing, and it just like slowly creeps up.
Yep. Yeah, I mean that's exactly what happens, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how you fix it with a game this big, but it is kind of weird.
I don't know either. Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for listening to our post-book rant
Yes.
and our book rant too.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't know. I'm pretty hopeful for this book. Like it doesn't seem too out of whack. But
Yeah.
I could be totally wrong because we were like, "Oh, KO's fine," and they were like the best book in the game right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They hit that 60% recently.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, but they'll fix it.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, my voice is tired.
Yep.
It's time to go play games. Have a good night, Bill.
Sounds good.
Have a good night, everyone.
See you guys.
Bye.